everybody. Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby coming to you again tonight from Alexander Stadium for the Piqua Greenville Clash. It's homecoming weekend, and the Indians want to keep their playoff hopes alive with a win over the Green Wave. Piqua's 4-2, coming off a win over rival Sydney, while the Wave brings a 3-3 record to tonight's encounter. Bob Luby, you've talked to the coaches, you've looked at the numbers. Give your thoughts on tonight's contest.
Well, as you indicated, Greenville brings a 3-3 record to Piqua, and they're led by running back Landon Eldridge and quarterback Tyler Bikey. Offensively, they'll line up in the spread formation, and at times you'll see a two-back offense. Eldridge has gained 200 plus yardage, but has been injured, and his appearance tonight is questionable. But as I look down on the field, we saw him dressed. Looks like he's ready to go. Quarterback Tyler Bikey will scramble. He'll run the option and is a 2-year starter, so that says a lot about him. He's got that experience going for him. The Green Wave has a good return game, punt return, kickoff return. They're led in that area by number 1, Marcus Wood. Wood is also a good receiver, along with John Butch. Butch has 11 catches for 230 yards this year. Greenville likes to control the ball and keep opponents' offense off the field. Statistically, Greenville is 9th offensively in the league and 17th defensively. Obviously, they appear to be a better offensive team.
That's the scouting report from Bob Luby. We'll be right back with more of our pregame coverage on the Indian Nation station right after this timeout. Welcome back to Perk Field at Alexander Stadium. Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby. And again, Bob Luby, at 5 o'clock when we got to the stadium, it was raining. Right now, it is a sunshiny evening, and it's going to be what they would call a perfect night for football. Glad you've joined us. You're watching the Piqua High School football on the Indian Nation station. Bob Luby, let's start with the starting lineups for both the Green Wave of Greenville and the Indians of Piqua High School.
Well, Greenville won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So we're going to start off with giving you the Piqua offensive lineup, and Piqua line up with number 52, Jacob Strayer at center. He's a 6'1", 241-pound senior. The guards for Piqua, number 70, Riley Hill, a 6'3", 317-pound junior, and number 65, Zane Arbogast, a 6'1", 234-pound senior. The tackles, number 68, Caden Clark, he's 6'2", a 304-pound senior, and 66, Caden Maxwell. He's 6'1", 267-pound senior. The ends, number 15, Owen Toops. He's 6'2", 171-pound senior. And number 89, Brennan Toops, 6 foot, 209-pound senior. Quarterback, number 11, Micah Karn, 5'11", 192-pound senior. The running backs, number 8, Jarrell Lewis, a 6'1", 242-pound sophomore. And number 37, McKeegan Kuhn, 6'1", 218-pound junior. And the flanker, number 6, Garrett Shrub, 6'3", 168-pound sophomore. Defensively for Greenville, they'll line up across the front with number 55, Terry Miller at end, a 6 foot, 200-pound junior. And the other end will be number 60, Nathan Fry, a 5'10", 215-pound senior. The tackles, number 53, Caleb Bingham, a 6 foot, 265-pound junior. And number 50, Drew Quinn, a 6 foot, 210-pound senior. Linebackers, outside backers, number 7, Demare Ewing, 5'8", 185-pound senior. And number 2, John Butch, a 6'1", 175-pound junior. Inside linebackers, number 29, Tony Sells. He's 5'9", 185-pound junior. And number 25, Hayden Sharp, a 5'11", 190-pound sophomore. The corners, number 1, Marcus Wood, a 5'10", 155-pound junior. And number 42, Matt Bolton, a 5'11", 175-pound senior. And the safety, number 16, Colton Zumbrin, a 6'3", 185-pound senior. Those are your starting lineups for tonight's ball game.
Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field, where it's going to be a beautiful night for football. Pride of Piqua High School band, very, very impressive as they've been for a long time. Waiting now for both teams to come out of their dressing rooms for the national anthem, Bob. We're waiting for that, Bob. Tell us a little bit about the players of the game from the Sydney contest.
I talked to Coach Neese earlier this week, and he shared with me that the offensive player of the game for the Indians was Zane Arbogast. Zane's an offensive lineman, of course, and he's a guard, and he blocked very well, played very well. Bill said he did a great job knocking people off the line of scrimmage. Defensively, we had two players that shared the player of the game honors. McKeegan Kuhn, number 37, and number, Matt Blankenship, number 40. Both inside linebackers, and both those guys combined for 22 tackles.
Wow, that's
a
lot
day's
of
work.
tackles.
That's a day's work.
Yes, it is.
You know, linebackers are supposed to make a lot of tackles, but that don't always happen. But those guys really turned into a huge job last week. And special team player of the week was Micah Karn. Micah kicked the extra point and just punted, did a good job all the way around for the Indians.
Well, those are the players of the game from the 14-12 victory at Sydney last Friday night. Tonight, it's the Green Wave of Greenville coming to Piqua, and we think it's going to be an interesting ball game. Bob, how about the keys to an Indian win, however? Very crucial.
Well, I think, number one, the Indians have to get their offense on the field and keep them there. Get the defense off. You can't leave your defense out on the field all the time because sometimes bad things happen. Miscues, missed tackles, the list goes on. So the Indians will have to strive for 3 and out defensively and get the offense on the field and let them go to work. Secondly, stop the option game. Greenville has some good skilled people, and the Indians will have to shut down the Greenville option attack. And thirdly, win the battle of special teams. Don't allow any kickoff returns, punt returns. Those are the kind of things that put your defense in a hole quickly, and you don't want that to happen. So those 3 things, I think if the Indians are able to accomplish those 3 things, they'll be in pretty good shape at the end of the ball game.
Those are your keys to the game. The official for tonight's game, the referee is Andrew Davis. Linesman is Rain Hoing. Line judge is Jason Caddy. The umpire, Chip Ordine. And the back judge is Stuart Nadolny. So we're just a few minutes away from the national anthem and the kickoff of this ball game. Bob Luby, we had a chance to look at the Dayton Daily News ratings. Have anything you can share with us on that?
Well, this point in the season, I'm not sure how. Well, they're not final, obviously. A lot of things can happen. I think in Division III, where Piqua's one of the others. Chaminade Julian heads the list, and I'm not so sure they're ever going to leave that spot. Kettering Alders in second place at 5-1, very strong football team. Trotwood's in third, 4-2, and I think that they'll probably win the rest of the games up to the last game. They have to play Wayne, and that's an iffy game, but Trotwood is strongly in third. After that, you have Middletown, Fenwick, and Bellbrook at 4 and 5. Fenwick's 4-2, Bellbrook's 6-0, undefeated. They have a pretty good football team. Piqua's in the mix, but they're going to need some help, I think, to move up. They're going to have to win some football games, first of all, and to move up the line. Division II, our neighbors to the south, Troy's in first place in the Dayton Daily News rankings, followed by Xenia, and Xenia's 3-3. That's a little bit of a surprise to me. Of course, the third
Strength
place.
of schedule, perhaps, Bob.
Yeah, third place team, Sydney. They're 3-3. We beat Sydney last week. Now, it may have something to do with the number of Division II teams available.
Yes.
They only have 5 ranked, and there were only 2 others considered others, Fairborn and Stebbins.
Would you please stand and
At this
remove your
time,
hats
the
for the
fans
playing
here
of
at
the national
Alexander
anthem.
Stadium, Perk Field, are
Also
asked to
announcing
stand
tonight,
for the
the
playing of our
captain
national
of
anthem,
the north
the
end
Star
zone.
Spangled
The American
Banner,
Sign
by
Language
the
students will be signed the national anthem,
Pride of Piqua
along with tonight's
Marching Band, the
performance.
national anthem. National anthem, nicely done by the Pride of Piqua Marching Band under the direction of Carl Flippo. Interesting aside, there's a sign class at Piqua High School. The members of that class went through the national anthem with their sign language. Very, very impressive. Glad you've joined us, Dwayne Bachman and Bob Louie. We're just about ready to kick this one off, Bob. It ought to be a good one. Let's see what happens as we get ready for the kickoff here on a beautiful, and I think, Bob, that would be an understatement, a beautiful evening for football.
Yeah, a couple hours ago, that probably would be up for debate. But right now, as I look out, beautiful looking sky. If skies can be beautiful tonight's the night they are. And the sun's still out. It stopped raining. Temperature's about right. I bet the temperature's right around 70 degrees. Homecoming for the Indians. What else could you want? Crowd still flowing in slowly but surely. So maybe we'll have a nice turnout of Greenville fans across the way.
And again, Bob, it's homecoming night, so we're going to have the crowning of the homecoming queen. That's going to take place at halftime here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. We'll bring all that to you. We've got information on all of the candidates, so it ought to be very, very special. Greenville's going to kick it off, and Greenville's kicker is going to be number 82, Ethan Flannery. So he's going to kick it off. Owen Toops and
Ron Coleman, I think, is going to be back there.
So let's see what happens as the referee gives Ethan Flannery the okay to kick it off. There's the whistle. Here comes the kick. We're underway. Nice kick, going to go down to about the 5-yard line. Picked up there by Foster, I believe, and he's going to get up to about the he's loose! He got away from a couple tacklers, got to about the 45-yard line. Bob, check me if I'm wrong, but I think that was Mr. Foster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was, and he's been really effective returning kicks and punts and running the football. They have to like Foster as they look forward to the rest of the season.
Let's see what happens as the Indians bring the ball up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be Micah Karn at the controls. Gerald Lewis and McKeegan Kuhn are the running backs. Got wide out to the top side and to the near side. Micah Karn in the shotgun, waiting for the snap. Hand off to Colin Rowe. Colin Rowe off to the right side. Got a little running room. Got to about the 49-yard line. Got a couple, but that hole closed up pretty quickly, Bob.
Yeah, a little jet sweep brought Colin back in motion. And Colin's got good speed, not real big, but he's got an extra gear, and he can kick it in. Picked up about 3 yards.
2nd down and 7. Indians up to the line of scrimmage. Shrub to the top side, Toops to the near side. Karn gets the snap. He's going to pass. He's going to hit Toops on the right side. Toops is going to be awfully close to a first down. He's in Greenville territory. Referee says we're going to move the stakes. 1st and 10 for Piqua.
Yeah, just a little out pattern. Owen Toops came downfield and turned it out. And nice throw, nice catch. Nothing fancy, just a short passing game the Indians implementing here.
Ball resting on the Greenville 43-yard line. Indians up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide outs to the top side this time, 1 to the near side. Micah Karn again. This time he's going to hand it off. To number 25, Karan Coleman. Let's see what he gets. He didn't get much, did he, Bob?
No, Greenville did a good job shutting it down. The front 4 from Greenville shut the door on that play. Drew Quinn and Cale Bingham, the tackles, shut that down pretty quickly.
Let's call it 2nd down and 10. Here come the Indians up to the line of scrimmage. Opening minutes of the first quarter. Karn hands it off this time. Hands it off to McKagan Kuhn tries the right side. Now let's give him 5, Bob. It's a long 5. 3rd down and 5 for the Indians.
No misdirection by the Indians. McKeegan came backwards against the grain and did a nice job. McKeegan's a tough kid, squares his pads, just stays low, tries to get underneath the tackler and drive him backwards.
We're probably in 4-down territory, don't you think?
I would think so.
Here come the Indians up to the line of scrimmage. This time Karn's going to handle it himself around the left side. Tries to go around the left side, doesn't have much luck. Looked like he was going to be able to turn the corner, but he wasn't able to do that. As number 5, that's Marcus Wood, and John Butch put him to the ground, so that's going to be 4th down, and we're going to see exactly what Bill Neese decides to do. It's going to be 4th down and a long 5.
Jake Meyer comes in with the play. The Indians, no huddle, they're going quickly.
Obviously, they're not going to punt it away. Karn waiting for the snap. Off to the right side, scrambling, trying to get some running room. Is going to get near the 30-yard line. Looks like he might have enough for a first down. Micah Karn gets enough for the first down for the Indians. They move the chains once again.
Good job. Micah just took the snap and came to the right side this time. The last time he went left, same play, coming right, power, quarterback drive, and he picks up the first down.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Karn again, right up the middle. He's got some running room. He's going to get near the 20-yard line. Going to be a little short, perhaps, no, they're saying he's got a first down. So Micah Karn gets 10, maybe 11 yards. Move the stakes once again.
Fake to Coleman going to the left, and Micah pulled the ball out and just took it up inside. Picks up the first down.
Running game right now doing very, very well for the Indians. Karn scrambles out to the left side, looking for somebody in the end zone. Throws it over the outstretched arms of Shrub. So incomplete pass to the far side. Going to be down 2nd down and 10. Ball resting on the Greenville 21-yard line.
Indians came out and really established themselves offensively thus far. This is the first time they've huddled in a while. They've been going without the huddle, just a quick pace, and that's keeping Greenville off balance.
Karn waiting for the snap. He's going to go back to pass. No, now he's going to run it around the right side. Oh, he's got some running room. He's going to go inside the 10, inside the 5, all the way down. Is he going to score? Let's see if we're... No, wait a minute. I believe he fumbled the ball.
He did.
And I believe he fumbled the ball right near the end zone, and Greenville recovered. I guess he didn't break the plane, Bob. Looked like he was going to score. He was close to breaking the plane. Obviously did not, and then coughed it up, and the Greenville Green Wave recovered it. What a break for the Wave. What a tough break for the Indians.
It'll be interesting to see where the ball placement will be. Did that ball go in the end zone? That would be a touchback. But if it was downed prior to going in the end zone, it'll be where it's downed.
We're going to get an explanation from the referee. They're going to call a touchdown.
Jeez.
They're going to rule that Micah Karn broke the plane, and that's going to give him 6 points. After he broke the plane, he coughed it up, and Greenville got it. But the officials say that that's going to be a 6-pointer for the Indians. I think it's a good call, Bob, but
Yeah.
maybe our vantage point was a little different than others, but it looked to me like he was in the end zone before it dropped on the ground.
What made me wonder, there was no signal.
Yeah.
You know, even when he did cross the plane of the goal, the official was right there. You think you would have seen the hands go up, but there was nothing. And then when they started confabbing there and conferencing, I'm thinking, uh-oh, this is not good.
Micah Karn for the PAT. Kick is up. There's going to be a flag. Let's see. I think it's going to be offside on Greenville. Let's see if the kick was good. And if it was, they'll probably decline it. And
Defense number 7. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the
they're going to.
I think Pick was going to go for 2 here.
Yes, they're going to be half the distance. So a new set of players coming onto the playing surface with blue jerseys on means Bill Neese says with a yard and a half to go, let's see if we can't get 2.
I see Matt Blankenship out there in the backfield. He ran out. I don't know. I'm not sure what other personnel. They got Blankenship and Jarrell Lewis in the backfield.
Karn waiting for the snap. He's going to try to, he pitches it out. Oh, pitches it out to Jarrell Lewis. Jarrell Lewis around the left side finds the end zone, so it's an 8-0 lead for the Indians. 8-0 with 8:33 left to go in quarter number 1.
Little option, and they give it to the big guy. They give it to Jarrell Lewis. He's not tiny. He's 6'1", 242 pounds. And he's a tough kid, strong, hard to bring down. If he's like a runaway tractor trailer, boy, he gets going. You don't want to step in front of him because you're liable to get pushed back out of the way.
Bob, that was an impressive drive from start to finish, even though a little controversial at the end. The Indians come away with 6. They get a 2-point conversion, 8-0 lead. That was impressive.
54 yards. They started on their own 46 and took it right down to the end zone.
Now let's see what happens as the Indians are going to kick it away. Let's see if it's going to be Micah Karn, and Micah is going to kick it for the Indians. Deep for the Green Wave is number 1, Marcus Wood, and number 2, John Butch.
By the way, John Butch is the grandson of a former Piqua athlete, Mike Butch. And I talked to Mike today, and he said he's going to be in the stands watching his grandson play this evening. Both of them have good speed. Marcus Wood, 5'8", 155 pounds. He's a sprinter type. John is a pole vaulter, but he's a good athlete.
And if I'm not mistaken, pole vaulting comes with the name Butch because Steve Butch was a pole vaulter, and I think Mike was too.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens as Micah Karn gets ready for the kick. There's the signal. Here it comes. Line drive type kick, going to go all the way down, picked up by Marcus Wood. Marcus Wood around the right side, trying to turn it. Oh, he turns the corner, gets some running room, gets away from a couple tacklers, gets all the way up to the 40-yard line. Boy, you're right, Bob. Marcus Wood not only got some speed, he can cut pretty well. So the Green Wave have the ball for the first time. They've got it on their own 40-yard line.
Nice return by Marcus Wood. That was one of the things I felt Piqua had to do coming in is control the kickoffs, punts, special teams, and so on because Greenville has a couple guys that can fly around out there.
Let's see what happens as the Wave come out to put it in play. Quarterback is Tyler Bikey. He's in the shotgun. Waiting for the snap. Bikey. Bikey hands it off to number 1, Marcus Wood. Marcus Wood tries to go around the left side. Doesn't have much luck. Did he get back to this line of scrimmage? And if he did, Bob, that's all he did.
Yeah, quite a few Indians arrived at the scene there. Toops, McKeegan Kuhn, they just jumped right on that and shut down that attempt by the Greenville Green Wave.
2nd down and 10. Bikey hands off this time to Landon Eldridge, I believe. He goes and gets about 2, so let's call it 3rd down and 8. Let's see if that was 34, and it was. Landon Eldridge, a 5'11", 180-pound senior. He got 2, 3rd down and 8 for the Wave.
He comes into this game with 906 yards rushing.
Pikey sprinting out to the right side. Going to pass to the far side. Tries to find somebody along the Greenville sideline, but threw it over his head. That's going to fall incomplete, and that's going to bring up a punting situation for Greenville. Wait a minute, Bob. I think I see a flag, and if it was a flag on the offense, I would imagine Bill Neese will decline the penalty and take the down. Holding call. It's declined, so that'll make it 4th down and 8 for the Wave. 7 minutes, 22 seconds left to go, first quarter. The Indians have an 8-0 advantage. Ethan Flannery back to punt it away for the Wave. He's standing at his own 27, 28-yard line. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. High, not too deep. Piqua's got it at the 30-yard line. Let's see who's going to pick it up. It's going to be our favorite receiver, Bob. That's number 49, Trenton Foster. Trenton gets all the way back to about, see where they're going to spot. Whoops. A late flag. A late flag. They're going to put the ball right now at the 30-yard line, but I think that's before they assess the penalty. And we'll find out what the penalty is about in just a second. They're moving it back against Piqua the way it looks. Blocking the back by Piqua. That's going to move the ball back to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians.
That was Matt Blankenship must have got behind somebody, and got to keep your head in front. You got to keep your head in front, so that's going to push the Indians back to their own 20.
1st and 10. Shrub to the far side, Jake Meyer to the near side. Carnes, again, operating out of the shotgun. He's going to give it to number 25, and that is Coleman. Coleman goes around the left side, is going to get a few. In fact, it looks like he got half of them, Bob. Let's give him 5. Let's call it 2nd down and 5. Coleman over left tackle gets 5 for the Indians.
Yeah, you have to like that sophomore. He's got good speed,
yes.
Quick feet, finds daylight, and picks up good yardage. So Indians facing a 2nd and shorter. Well, 2nd and 5. It's not short, but it's certainly achievable here.
Karn. This time he's going to spread out to the right side, looking downfield. Got Owen Toops. He's got him at the 40-yard line. Owen Toops gets well beyond the stakes, 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Nice pass play. Micah Karn to Owen Toops. We've heard that one before, Bob.
Yeah, little action. Fake to a back and then throw the ball downfield to Toops. Good hands, knows what to do with it after he catches it and takes it up to the 45-yard line.
1st and 10 for Piqua. 6 minutes left to go, first quarter. Indians with an 8-0 lead. Karn back to pass. Now he's scrambling to the right side. He's still scrambling. He's going to be downed at about the 45-yard line, which is going to be just about at the line of scrimmage.
Good decision. You know, a lot of quarterbacks think they have to throw the football regardless, and he felt there was too much coverage, and he was going to try to scramble or just come up with a very short gain.
They gave him 1. Let's call it 2nd down and 9. Micah taking time to, with some equipment problems. Looks like he's ready to go. 2 wide outs to the near side, 1 to the top side. We have somebody in the slot. Karn hands it off. The ball's on the ground, but covered by Coleman. Yeah, Coleman coughed it up, but reached back and brought it to the ground and kept it in the possession of the Indians.
He wasn't hit; he just dropped it. I don't know whether he didn't have a good must not have been had a good grip on it because there was nobody to put a hand on him. He had to fall back on the ball to keep Greenville from recovering. So no gain, 3rd and 9 again for the Indians.
Let's see what Bill Nace decides to do. Wide outs to the near side and to the top side. Micah Karn. This time he's going to sprint out to the left side. Is he going to run or is he going to pass? He's getting all kinds of pressure. Throws it under. Oh, he got somebody loose at the 35-yard line. And it's on the ground, and Greenville picks it up. Oh, my goodness, Bob. Bob, can you restruct that for me? I don't know who caught the original pass, but it ended up in the hands of Greenville based on a fumble, I believe.
Colin Rowe was the person that caught the pass and turned upfield. He had the first down, but didn't take the football with him. And I think he lost it even maybe before he was hit. And, again, just the good grip didn't have a hold on it. You got to put that thing under your arm and cover it.
So the Wave dodge a bullet. Now they're on the offense for the second time in this ball game. Tyler Bikey is the quarterback. He's going to hand it off. Going to hand it off to Dewari Ewing. He doesn't have much luck up the middle. Piqua's defense has been pretty strong all year, Bob.
Yeah, right now the Indians playing well defensively. They just need to keep the football with them when they're moving along here.
Second down. Let's call it second down and 10.
34, Landon Eldridge is your ball carrier.
Bikey waiting for the snap. He's going to keep it, scramble to the left side, going to pitch it out. No, that's on the ground. Now it's going to be out of bounds, but fumbled out of bounds, but it's going to be, they're going to give the final credit to number 34, Landon Eldridge, but a lot of running, but no gain. Let's make it third down and 9.
This is not a game where there's a demonstration of this is the way you do it, is it?
That was not the option play we used to draw on the board, Bob.
No.
Third down and 9. Bikey. Back to pass. Getting all kinds of pressure. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. He threw that one out of pretty much desperation because he was being pressured. Let's see if we can pick up that number because he was 89. Yes,
that's
89.
Brennan Toops.
Yes.
Brennan Toops was back in the backfield immediately and had a grip on Bikey, and Bikey just tossed it up, said, I want to get rid of this thing.
Ethan Flannery to punt it away for the Green Wave. He's standing on his own 27-yard line. Deep for Piqua, Foster and Toops.
Well, Greenville's had 2 possessions. The first one, they started in their own 40, made it to the 42. This time they started in their own 40, made it to the 41.
Here's the kick. Oh, he bobbled the kick. Oh, a bad kick. Getting a Greenville bounce. In fact, a generous Greenville bounce. Going to go all the way down to the 20-yard line. Bob, that was a...
I think the Piqua defender got his hands just enough to...
Did he deflect that ball?
Just a little.
Okay.
Just a little. I saw the official make the...
Made the sign?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the kick ended up being favorable to Greenville, but let's see what the Indians do with it. So far, offensively and defensively, they pretty much had their own way, and we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Indians with an 8-0 lead. Shrubs to the far side, and Jake Meyer to the near side. Micah Karn. Going to hand it off to McKagan Kuhn. McKagan Kuhn gets to the, let's call it the 29-yard line. Picked up. Let's give him 3. Let's call it second down and 7.
Just a blast straight ahead. McKagan Kuhn, he's a tough kid. He's a good inside runner. Becomes his own blocker, runs over people, knock people down trying to tackle him.
Piqua breaks out of the huddle. 2 wide outs to the near side, 1 to the top side. Micah Karn. This time he's going to hand it off I think he's going to hand this one off to Matt Blankenship. I think it was number 40, wasn't it, Bob? Yes, it was. Blankenship, he tries to go around the end on the Piqua side, but didn't have much luck. Gained a couple. Let's call it third down. Let's call it third down and 3 for the Indians. A possession play right here, Bob.
Yeah, the score, Piqua 8, Greenville nothing. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first quarter.
Indians need to keep possession of the ball. Waiting now for the snap is number 11, Micah Karn. He's going to keep it right up to, oh, he's got some running room. He's got a lot of running room. He's going to go all the way to the 40, down to the 30. Somebody's chasing him. Are they going to catch him? Yes, they're going to catch him, but did he score?
He hit the pylon. He hit the pylon. I don't know if he stepped out of bounds before the 1 yard line. They're going to mark it.
What a beautiful run by Micah Karn. Gets all the way down to the 1 yard line. Bob, there was a lot of green there, but he did outrun one of the defenders from Greenville. Finally collared him at the 1 yard line.
So
wow.
He made a guy miss down here, back upfield. It was a heck of an effort by Micah. But number 1 for Greenville, and that'd be Marcus Wood. He's got sprinter speed. He's the one that caught up with him.
1st and goal to go. Micah Karn. No, that's Blaine Uhl. Blaine Uhl hands it off to Matt Blankenship for the score. So another 6 for the Indians. Let's see what they do for the extra point. That makes it 14-0. Let's see what they decide to do. Bob, I think they're going to go for 2 again.
I see number 89, Brendan Toops, coming in along with number 4, Blaine Uhl.
I think they're going to go for 2, and that's exactly what Blaine Uhl is explaining to the Indians. A big run by Micah Karn, followed by a 1 yard touchdown run by Blankenship, and now it's a 2-point conversion. Blaine Uhl over center. Hand off to Blankenship, I believe. Blankenship goes into the end zone. I believe we're going to have 2 more. Yes. Bob, I don't know about you. Again, we weren't so sure how good Greenville might be, but in the early going here this first quarter, you got to be impressed with these Piqua Indians.
Yeah, running the ball real well. Most of their yardage has come on the ground.
Yes.
And, nice long drives, which is what Piqua wanted to do, sustained drives. That one started on a Piqua 25. That was a 75-yard drive. The previous one where they fumbled, they were in Greenville territory at the 40 before they turned it over, and the first drive started at the Piqua 46 and went in for the score. So India's doing a good job. You have to give credit to that offensive line because there's a reason they're moving the ball so well. You have to look at the offensive line of Jacob Strayer, Riley Hill, Zane Arborgrass, Caden Maxwell, Caden Clark, Owen Toops, Brendan Toops. They're doing a nice job up front.
The Indians are going to kick it off. I believe we're going to have Austin Burns kicking this one off. Let me see if I got that right, and I do. Austin Burns, number 88, is going to kick it off for Piqua. We got Marcus Wood and John Butch deep for the Wave. Here's the kick. Going to go down to about the 12-yard line, picked up by Marcus Wood. He's pinned to the sideline, but gets loose. And again, he's a pretty elusive young man, Bob. Yeah. I thought they had him pinned to the back sideline, but he was able to sneak away, get an extra 5 or 6 yards.
Got quick feet, very agile, good speed, everything you want in a running back, and he helps them defensively too.
Let's see what happens as the Wave comes up to the line of scrimmage after a meeting with their head coach on the far side. Piqua 16, Greenville nothing with 1:54 left to go here in the first quarter on homecoming night at Piqua High School. Tyler Bikey. He's got it. He's going to hand it up. No, he's going to keep it. Pitches it out to, I believe that's Landon Eldridge. Landon Eldridge tests the left side, but not before he got about 5 yards. That's about as many yards as they've gotten on the ground in any one play. Yet tonight, the Indian defense has been very stellar.
Indians were in a 3-man front on that play, and were able to, it was an option, and they played the option very well.
Let's give him 6. Let's call it 2nd down and 4. Bikey pitches out this time to Eldridge. Eldridge makes the turn, gets around the corner, but not much more than that. got back to the line of scrimmage, probably gained a yard, maybe give him 2. It's going to be 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd down and 2 for the Green Wave.
Jarrell Lewis got off that pile along with some help from other Piqua defenders.
I'll bring up 3rd down for the Wave.
3rd down and 2 for the Wave. Bikey hands it off this time. I believe Eldridge got it again. Eldridge might have enough for the 1st down. Bob, I don't know. Could that be the first down of the night for Greenville?
I think it is. This is their 3rd possession, and they had not had a 1st down up to this point.
1st and 10 for the Wave.
Eldridge is a good back.
Yes, he is.
He
Big
scored
guy.
14 touchdowns this year, over 900 yards rushing.
Pass on the far side to Marcus Wood. Oh, Marcus Wood has got some running room, and he's going to be headed for the end zone. Let's see if Piqua can catch him. And he fumbled it in the end zone, and Piqua recovered it, I believe. Marcus Wood got into the end zone. Before he got into the end zone, he coughed it up. It went into the end zone, and Piqua picked it up. Oh, my goodness gracious. Bob, that's 2 big calls right near the end zone.
He's an opponent, but you have to feel for that kid because he made everybody look bad. He ran away from everybody, and he didn't get touched going in the end zone. Ball protection has to be high priority for both football teams next week. Take care of the football. He just has good speed. I'll tell you what he was trying to do, I think, was change hands to keep the ball away from the pursuing Indian tackler, and I think that was Blaine Ohl was after him. But during the process, he was changing hands. The ball came out.
They're going to call it a touchback, as they should have. The ball now on the 20-yard line. Piqua's got it 1st and 10. We've had some unusual plays here already. And we're still in the 1st quarter. Hand off this time. Oh, this time Micah Karn hands it off to Blankenship, but Matt didn't have much luck. Got to the 20-yard line, and that's just going to be 2nd down and 10.
This is Piqua's 4th possession of the 1st quarter. So that tells you how fast that game's moving and how often Piqua's putting the ball in the end zone.
At the end of the 1st quarter, the Piqua has a 16-0 lead. You're watching Piqua High School football on the Indian Nation Station. Your home for Piqua Athletics. Glad you've joined us tonight, Dwayne Bachman and Bob Luby, and what ended up being a perfect night for football. When Bob and I got to the stadium tonight, it was raining at 5 o'clock. By the time it was 6:15, it was a beautiful sunny night, and it has turned into a perfect night for everybody to come out for the gridiron. We're going to have the halftime festivities at the break, so right now we're waiting now for the officials to respot the ball, and we'll go to the 2nd quarter. Bob, there was a lot happening in 1 quarter of play.
Oh, it sure was. Indians could have been on the board again. The way things are going. Greenville had a chance to put it in the end zone, and I'm sure they're going to get that ball back in the hands of number 1 Marcus Wood again. I said he scares me. 5'8", 155-pound junior, good speed, boy. He has breakaway speed. Piqua was lucky to catch him down there at the 1-yard line.
So it's going to be Piqua's ball. 2nd down and 10. The ball resting right on the 20-yard line. Let's see what Bill Nace decides to do. So far, this ball game has been dominated on both sides of the football by the guys in the blue jerseys. They belong to Piqua High School. Up to the line of scrimmage, wide out to the top side, end of the near side for the Indians. Karn in the shotgun. He's got it. He's going to keep it. Getting some pressure, going to go around the right side, get some running room, gets over to the 25-yard line, and that's where he's knocked out of bounds. Looks like he's got about half as many as he needed. Let's call it 2nd down and 5.
Hey, Mike makes a lot of plays with his legs. He keeps people off balance. There's a penalty.
I think there's a penalty. I think it's going to go against the Indians. Let's see what the call is. Holding call against Piqua. So that's going to move the ball back to the, looks like to me about the 6.5-yard line.
Yeah. That was a half a distance penalty, and boy, that puts the Indians in a hole. So now they have a second and 20.
22, 23.
About 19. Well, 24 maybe.
Let's see what happens now. This changes the play calling usually a little bit. Let's see what Bill Neese comes back with this long count. Karn in the end zone. He's going to throw the ball. Little screen pass out to Blankenship. Blankenship's got it at the 10. He's at the 15-yard line. Gets over the 15-yard line. Another yellow flag is thrown.
Behind the play, and I bet that's some kind of block or hold.
Let's see what happens. We'll get the official to give us a call as soon as the officials decide what the options are. Let's see what it's all about. Personal foul.
Defense number 25.
Oh,
blocking
defense.
below.
15-yard penalty on the end of the road.
Oh, a blocking call. Penalty against Greenville.
Yeah, defense usually doesn't have to block. You don't
That's
think
right.
you get an illegal block from a defender, but that had me concerned when I first saw it.
Well, that's going to be enough to give Piqua first down, I believe. Yes, they're moving the chains. So an illegal block by Greenville. Boy, that took the Indians off the hook momentarily, Bob.
Yeah.
1st and 10 now. Ball resting on their own 32-yard line. Opening minutes of the second quarter. Karn sprints out to the right side, looking downfield. Got somebody at the 45-yard line. It looks like it's Shrub. Shrub's going to pick it off for another first down for Piqua. Garrett Shrub picks it off. It was rather low. It was thrown rather low, so Garrett had to pick it off his shoe top, but he got it nonetheless. A completed pass, enough for another Piqua first down. Play coming in from the Piqua sideline. Bob, so far this has been all Piqua Indians.
Oh, no question about that. I thought Greenville might have a little more offense in their pocket, but right now we haven't seen it.
And Piqua decides to call timeout. Timeout on the field. Piqua with a 16-0 lead. You're watching Piqua High School football on the Indian Nation station. You're home for Piqua Athletics. Boy, Bob, I have to say this. It's kind of hard to pass out accolades because so many people would qualify.
Yeah, Indians are doing well a lot of different ways. Running the football especially, that's been their prime method of moving it tonight, and they're doing a good job of it. Of course, Micah Karn's the center of it, making a lot of plays. You got Blankenship really running the ball. Matt Blankenship running it well. Just good job overall blocking up front. The Indians doing a good job of blocking at the point of attack. Doing what you need to do to win a football game, but it's early. It's still in the first half, and you don't think that Greenville's going to quit on you. They got some people. Greenville has some people.
Oh, yes.
You talk about I like that Landon Elridge. I like the defensive back and wide receiver Marcus Wood. We've seen him in action. He can cause you a lot of headaches quickly.
Here come the Indians up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Karn tries to find Shrub over the middle, but just a little bit short. Garrett couldn't handle it. It goes incomplete. 2 games, Bob, that are of interest to the two of us. Troy is at Butler, Sydney's at Tip City, and there are 3 teams in those 4 that the Indians are going to have to deal with before this season's over. It'll be interesting to see how those turn out. Let's call it 2nd down and 10 after the incompleted pass. One of the officials says we've got a timeout. Let's see what it's all about. Referee was looking.
Please put 10:37 back on the game clock.
Changing the time on the game clock. 2nd down and 10. Indians with the football. Micah Karn Going to hand it off. Oh, hands it off. See who the running back was. Going to be there, Bob. It's going to be, yes, one of our favorites, Jarrell Lewis. Jarrell Lewis gets about, well, let's give him 5. Let's maybe even give him 6, Bob.
Yeah, Jarrell, he carries the mail pretty well. 6'1", 242 pounds, and only a sophomore.
Very, very attractive looking athlete for the future for Piqua, Bob.
One of many that's coming through the ranks.
Third down and 4 for Piqua. This time, Karn's going to go over center. Going to hand it off to Coleman. Coleman tries the right side, but didn't have much luck. It's going to bring up a 4th down play. We don't see the punt team going out there, so is there a chance Bill Neese is going to try to keep possession of the ball at midfield? That's exactly the way it seems. Play coming in from the sideline, Jared Shrub. Ooh.
Yeah,
Bob,
I don't understand that, but heck, they didn't ask me. I think that, you know, why?
I guess the confidence in your offense could be the reason for that call,
they've been
Bob.
moving the ball, but still, you need 4.5 yards.
Karn back to throw to the far side. Oh, tries to find a receiver. I don't think Coleman was able to handle it.
Yeah, he caught it, but he won't be enough for the first down.
Coleman caught it right in front of the Piqua bench, but going to be about 1.5 yards short. So the Indians are going to give it back to Greenville. So that particular gamble didn't come out quite the way Bill Neese had hoped for, but by the same token, they do have a 16-0 lead. Now Greenville have not been able to do anything offensively, Bob. That is probably a testimony to the fine defensive work that the Indians are putting up here tonight.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of shutting Greenville down, and they have to continue to do that because this Greenville offense can explode at any moment.
Tyler Bikey waiting for the snap. They're in the spread offense. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to pitch it out to Eldridge. Eldridge is trying to find some running room. Gets around the left side. He's going to get about 6 before he's brought down. You're right, Bob. He's a pretty powerful runner.
Yeah, he does a nice job. I think it was Blaine Uhl came up and made the stop for the Indians. Just option. They ran the option. Quarterback waits till the last minute, and as soon as he's about ready to be hit, he pitches it back and hopes that Eldridge can pick up the first down.
This time, Bikey on a little pass play off to the right side. Ball's on the ground. Who's going to cover it? Greenville. Well, now it's a question of who had it. They were fighting for it, but I think they're going to give the recovery to Marcus Wood for Greenville. And that's exactly the call. It was completed pass, recovered fumble by Marcus Wood.
Marcus Wood right on the spot. Heads up play. Greenville going to go without a huddle.
Let's call it 3rd down and a long 2. Bikey looking down to the far side. Deflected at the line of scrimmage, intended for John Butch. It falls incomplete, so it's going to be 4th down. I'm not so sure the Green Wave is going to try this one, Bob. I think they've seen the scoreboard, figure they better punt it away and hope for the best.
Yeah. That would be my guess.
7 minutes, 34 seconds left to go in the first half. All of the homecoming festivities will take place at the break.
Foster and Toops deep for the Indians.
Ethan Flannery going to kick it from his own 40-yard line. Toops and Foster waiting for it from Piqua. High kick, nice kick, going to go down. Oh, it's on the ground. I think it was touched by Piqua. It's going to go into the end zone, and that's exactly what it's going to be. I believe that was touched by one of the Indians, Bob. I don't know how that's. I think they're
going to call it a touchback.
I think they're going to say it wasn't touched by one of the Indians. Boy, it looked like somebody got a hand on it. Let's see exactly what's going to happen here because the referee is still going to explain something to us. I believe that's the call. A touchback. Obviously didn't touch any of the Indians, so the Indians have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Looked like somebody might have put their fingers on it, Bob. But,
Yeah, it was close. It was
yes,
close.
It was.
From up here, it's hard to tell, though.
That's right. Officials had a much better look at it than we did. 1st and 10. Karn in the shotgun. He's going to keep it out to the left side. He's got some running room. Dodges a couple of defenders. Gets to the 30 right away. We see 2 yellow flags. Let's see what the penalties are all about. One on the offensive side, one on the defensive side. Let's see what the call is. Officials are now conferring because if we had 2 officials calling 2 different penalties, there's some options involved. Let's see what we find out here from the referee.
2 fouls on the offense. Holding. Holding. Number 66 of the
Holding
offense.
call on Piqua. There's 2 fouls.
2nd down.
I believe we had 2 holding calls on 2 different players there, Bob.
Yeah, they said
I think that was the explanation.
66, Caden Maxwell, the left tackle.
Ball's going to be brought all the way back to the 10-yard line. So the Indians are going to have it 1st down, but it's going to be 1st down and probably first down at about 20. Still 7 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter of play. The Indians with a 16-0 lead. 2 wideouts to the top side, 2 to the near side. Karn at his 5-yard line in the shotgun. He's going to keep it going around the left side. Gets to about the 15-yard line before he's dropped in there by Ethan Seiler. So he got some of them, Bob, but we still have a long way to go. 2nd down, let's call it 2nd down and 15.
Type of option play. Micah just puts it in the back hands of the running back and pulls it out and keeps it himself. He always picks up yardage, sometimes more than others, but usually positive yardage.
Let's see what the Indians decide to do with 2 wideouts to the top side, 2 to the near side once again. Micah looking downfield. No, he's going to try to run the ball, trying to go around the right side. He hurdles one of the players and gets away from one of the defenders, gets to the midfield stripe, and is going to be down there. We talked earlier, Bob, about the penalty called hurdling. And the definition for hurdling, as I recall, is if you're jumping over somebody that's on their knees or hands, it's legal. If you try to jump over somebody that is upright, it's a penalty.
Right.
That time the defender was on his knees, so Micah Karn picked up the 1st down. Hands it off this time. Hands it off this time to Coleman. Coleman going to have enough, I think, Bob, for a 1st down. Let's see one.
Yep, it is.
1st down for the Indians.
You have to like number 25.
Absolutely.
Karan Coleman. Good speed, good burst, finds daylight, picks a hole, and just turns it upfield. He doesn't run east and west. He's a north and south runner. Does a good job.
Another sophomore. Here come the Indians back. This time hand off to Coleman. Coleman again gets inside the 35 down to about the 32. Let's see where they spot the football, and that's exactly, let's call it the 32. Let's call it the 32 and be satisfied with that. With 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the 1st half, Indians with a 16-0 advantage. Have played very, very well for the most part here tonight. Now Blaine Ools in the backfield. He's going to get the snap. He's going to give it off to Jarrell Lewis. Jarrell Lewis fighting his way, but I think he's going to be a little short of the 1st down, Bob. Yes, he is. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down. Going to be 3rd down. Let's call it a long 2.
I think he lost his helmet, too, so he's going to have to come out.
Yes, he did. So let's see now what happens as the Indians have it 3rd down and 2. Blaine Ool staying at the quarterback spot.
This is 4-down territory, so they should have 2 shots at trying to pick up this 2 to 3 yards. Clock continues to tick. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the 1st half.
Blaine Ool over center. Hands it off to Blankenship. Oh, Blankenship didn't have much luck there.
Matt Blankenship, your ball carrier.
Matt Blankenship
Stepping up here to the line of
ran
scrimmage.
into a white jersey, and
That's gonna bring up fourth
I think he
down
might have
and
lost a
3
yard,
for the
Bob.
Indians.
Yeah, I think he did.
Fourth down. Let's call it fourth down. Let's call it fourth down and 6.
Credit Terry Miller with the tackle.
Let's see what happens now as here come some players in from the Piqua sideline.
Colin Rose coming back in, and
I think Micah Carnes coming back in as
Yeah.
well. Yes, he's going to go to the shotgun. Fourth down. Let's call it fourth down and 4. The snap. Carn
Micah
keeps
Carnes,
driving,
ball
keeps
carrier.
driving inside the 30-yard line. Good enough for another Piqua first down. Boy, a lot of those last 2 or 3 yards, Bob. Strictly Micah Carn dragging a couple Greenville Green Wave players down to the inside the 30-yard line.
he's a good running back. Our quarterback's a good running back. Makes plays happen, make things
Tony
happen.
Sells in on the
Another
tackle
first
for the
down for
Green Wave.
Piqua. All of the homecoming festivities are going to take place at the break. And we'll bring all of the information on the Queen and Kings and all of the pageantry at the halftime of the ball game. This time, Carn fakes it to Jarrell Lewis and then keeps it, runs up the middle. He just won't go down, Bob.
No,
In fact, we're going to have a flag, and we're going to have 2 flags. Now we have 3 flags. I'll bet there's going to be a personal foul in there someplace. They couldn't bring Micah down, and I just wonder if somebody didn't use some poor judgment in trying to do so. Let's see what the call is going to be. Referee pointed to Piqua, but I don't know exactly what that was supposed to mean. Let's see what happens as the officials now confer at the 25-yard line. 3 flags on the play, not all at the same time. So we'll get an explanation here, I think.
hopefully today.
Yeah, yes, it is taking a little longer than we thought, but by the same token, when you have 3 flags and they might not be on the same team, it gets a little
2 fouls on the
complicated.
play. Personal foul. Number 2 of the offense.
Personal
After
foul
the
on
play,
Piqua.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Number 6 of the offense.
Another personal foul on
Penalties
Piqua.
will be assessed. Second down.
2 personal fouls on 2 different players for Piqua, so that's going to move the ball back.
Colin Rowe, number 2, and Garrett Shrub, number 6, both assessed with personal fouls. See, that has no place in this kind of situation. You're just hurting your team. When you do things to hurt your team, that's obviously detrimental. That ball's coming way back. No reason for that to happen. No reason for that to happen.
Bob, can that be 2 15-yard penalties?
Evidently.
Not one of the 2, but both of them? I don't know if I've seen that in a long, long time.
Was
that
that-
was a 30-yard penalty, wasn't
Were
it?
they dead ball fouls? And maybe that was the reason.
Yeah, that's probably right. But look at that. It's second down, and I don't know what the scoreboard says. The scoreboard operator probably reaching for his computer to pick that one off. I believe they assessed 2 15-yard penalties. Not sure that's how I thought it should work. I thought they just get 1.
No sense in that at all.
No, not at all.
Totally
Not-
unacceptable.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's first down. Scoreboard says it's first down and 34. Let's see what happens. Blaine Uhl. Blaine Uhl tried to hit the receiver on the Piqua sideline. Almost picked off by John Butch.
Intended for Karan Coleman goes incomplete.
So that's going to make it second down and 34.
And on the coverage for the
And as you said,
number
Bob, I
16,
wonder how many second down and 34 plays Bill Neese has in the playbook.
I'm sure he doesn't have many.
You're right. We've said that a lot of times over the years, haven't
Yep.
we?
Yep.
Micah Carn checks back in for Piqua. Second down. Long, long way. In fact, they've got to go inside the 20-yard line if they want to keep possession of this thing. Carn in the shotgun. Wideouts to the top side, end of the near side. The snap. Karn. He's going to try to go deep, trying to find Owen Toops. Couldn't do it. Overthrew Owen Toops. Owen Toops was pretty well covered by two white-jerseyed Greenville Green Wave. So that's going to make it 3rd down and 34.
3 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the first half. The Indians ahead of Greenville 16-0.
Jacob Goldsmith.
So let's see what happens now because, again, you'd like to think there's no option other than throwing the ball, but then Bill Neese may have something in that playbook, Bob.
They better hurry up. They only have 7 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to take a timeout.
That's exactly what they do.
Indians. Timeout. Piqua. They're second in the first half.
So the Indians take timeout. Reminder, you're watching Piqua High School football on the Indian Nation Station. You're home for Piqua Athletics.
Congratulations to Coach Sterrett, Coach Davis, and the team for a great
So,
year.
Bob, again, we're winding down the first half of play. We got 3 minutes left to go. I don't think we can find too many things, other than maybe holding on to the football, that you would think would concern Bill Neese at the halftime. I'm sure there are some things that he saw that we didn't, but 16-0 lead, be real honest with you, I would imagine he probably thought might have had enough time for another touchdown or two.
Well, I would think he'd be bothered by the penalties.
Yes.
2 personal fouls on the same play cost you 30 yards, and there was a couple other penalties out there. The Indians are, I think, penalized too much.
Well, a couple weeks ago, the last time we were on the air, I think there were 15 penalties. I think there were 7 at Sydney. You're right. Penalties can be very, very tough on your offense. Let's see what happens as the Indians come up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 34. The snap. Handoff. Oh, handoff goes to, there was somebody who might have jumped on the ball carrier. That was Coleman. Coleman's brought down for a loss, and quickly a timeout called by the Green Wave. Green Wave, I think, Bob, feels as though they're going to get a chance to put their offense back on the field.
Oh, yeah, with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left. Pick was allowing Greenville to stay in the game.
Yes.
By some errant play, mistakes, penalty, that type of thing.
Right.
This game could be a little out of hand by now.
That's right. You're right, Bob. At this point in time, a 2-touchdown offense is not quite as much as Bill Neese would like. Only good thing is, Bob, we haven't given up anything to Greenville. But you're right. Offensively, I think offensively the first quarter we were good. Second quarter, I think things went a little bit south on us.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. And that's what happens sometimes when you get a lead. You get away from doing the things you do well.
That's right. This is not a rout by any stretch of the imagination. Micah Karn's going to kick it away for the Indians. And Green Wave going to have a chance to put it in play if they can handle the punt. Let's see who's deep. I imagine it's going to be Marcus Wood.
And that's a guy you don't want to kick the ball to him.
He could make it a 16-7 game pretty quickly, couldn't he?
No question about that.
Let's see where Micah kicks it away. He's at his own 33-yard line. Here's the kick. High kick, nice kick. Boy, beautiful kick. Going to go down, and Marcus Wood's going to go into the end zone and come back out of the end zone and get all the way to the 5-yard line. Oh, my. What a beautiful punt, and what beautiful coverage by the Indians on that one. And there's a penalty on the play, and it's right by the punter. Could it have been roughing the punter? Let's see what it's called.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 50 in the defense.
There is going to be a roughing the kicker penalty.
Automatic first down.
Oh, my.
And that's going to give the ball back to Piqua.
You talk, as a coach, Dwayne, you have a team 4th and 37. 4th and 37. You can't even see the first down marker from where they were. And you have somebody that roughs the punter. Oh, my. Oh, my.
That's That's why coaches run around with gray hair so very early in life. Plays like that. So the Indians, 4th and 37, now got the ball. 1st and 10 on the Greenville 40, and over 2.5 minutes left to go. And they have the football. And what a chain of events this has been. This is Colin Rowe, I think. Yes, it is. Colin Rowe trying the left side. Let's see if he got a couple, but not too many.
They like to run the jet sweep with Colin, and they bring him in motion, and quarterback Micah just kind of tosses the football to him, and Colin tries to get out on the perimeter and the edge and turn it upfield. But Greenville pretty quick defensively.
They've been pretty good on that perimeter play.
Reacted very well and held him to 3 yards.
Let's give them 3. Let's call it 2nd down and 7. Karn. Micah. Oh, he's got some running room around the left side. Gets away from 1 tackler, 2 tacklers. Gets all the way down to the 25-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a 1st down for Piqua. Oh, we saw another flag. Let's see what that's all about. We've got one of the Piqua Indians on the ground, and that is, let's see what happens. First of all, what's the penalty?
Illegal block below the waist. Number 2 in the defense.
Another blocking below the waist penalty against Greenville. The Greenville Green Wave not getting many breaks in any phases of the game, Bob.
No. I don't know what they're doing blocking, defensively. They should be more involved in tackling. I can see trying to take out maybe some interference, but, blocking below the waist and everything, they've been called twice for that.
Now, Bob, while they're taking care of the injured Indian, the ball's going to be resting on the 13-yard line. And remember, 2 or 3 minutes ago, it was 4th down and 37.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about getting out of a hole quickly. Piqua's certainly done that.
From 4th and 37 to a possibility of putting some points on the scoreboard, that is a little hard to fathom, but that's exactly what's happened here as we see one of the Indians getting some assistance at the
I think that's Karan Coleman, I believe.
25, is it?
Yeah.
That might be. Well, again, just a reminder that all of the halftime facilities will be taking place as we get to the break and as both teams head to the locker room.
Excuse me, that's number 52. I was looking at the number backwards. That's Jacob Strayer. The center for the Indians is down. He was laying kind of tilted, and I caught the number sideways.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, that's 52, Strayer.
Getting some attention. Looks like it's a leg problem, but getting some attention. And again, just a reminder that the Indians go to Vandalia Butler next Friday night. And Bob, that could be a big game. We'll be back on Channel 5 the week after that with the Tip City contest right here at Alexander Stadium. And then the final game of the season, the 10th and final game, Troy at Piqua. And again, don't know what's going to happen in the meantime, but there's still a lot of exciting football that could be in store for us yet this season.
So the Indians are going to have to come up with a center here.
Yes.
And, you're going out fresh. That can always be a problem. The quarterback center exchange and the snap into the backfield out of the spread formation. I'm trying to find out who is.
Jacob Hebner. Hebner.
Is it?
Is going over the football. I believe that's who it is. Number 67, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, he's 67.
Okay, let's see. I don't know how many times he's been called into action, but there he is, ready to snap it to Karn, who gives it off the blank. No, Karn keeps it. Now he's going to go around the left side, but he's not going to have any luck. Got back to the 10-yard line. That's a nice fake to Blankenship around the right side, but he kept it, went on the left side, didn't fool anybody from Greenville.
Picked up a couple of yards, not many, so it's a 2nd down. You notice, I notice, when the Greenville Green Wave tackle, when they tackle Micah Karn, they seem to want to really throw him down. I think he's frustrating them.
I see.
I think he's frustrating them.
Here come the Indians up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wideouts to the top, 1 to the bottom. Karn sprints out to the right side, trying to find Owen Toops. Owen Toops had it and then dropped it, falls incomplete.
That was a big yard gain for Owen Toops. He had the ball in his hands.
Yes.
Just didn't didn't tuck it and take it into the end zone. He was close. He was in right around the 5-yard line.
That was a catchable pass play.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
He's got to catch that. If he watches the film, he's going to say, I should have had that football.
3rd down and 9. Play coming in from the sideline in the person of Jake Meyer. Up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide outs to the top side, 1 to the near side. Karn waiting for the snap. He's got it. Sprints out to the right side. Is he going to run? No, he's going to try to find somebody in the end zone. It falls incomplete. Let's see who it was intended. I think it was intended for Jared Shrub. Yes, it was. Incomplete. 4th down. Okay, Bob, now. 4th down. 4th down, 9. Let's see what Bill Neese pulls out of the playbook. Chance for points on the scoreboard, Bob, with 1:06 left to go in the half.
He's got Darrell Lewis in the backfield next to him. Micah in the shotgun formation.
Micah sprinting out to the right side. He's going to look into the end zone. Going to throw. Oh, somebody all by themselves in the end zone. Bob, who was it?
That was number 89, Brennan Toop.
Brennan Toops all by himself on the left side. And so the Indians put 6 more on the board before we go to the locker room. Oh, my.
Nice. Micah sprinted out to the right, and the defense flowed to that side, and it was kind of like a throwback pattern.
Yes.
Brennan was out there by himself, all by himself. Nice toss, nice catch. He can't drop that one, that's
no,
for
you
sure.
can't.
You
And
can't
again,
drop that
Bob,
one.
we talked about this ball game being a little closer than we thought. That touchdown puts a little bit more distance between these two teams. And again, Bob, 5 minutes ago, we had 4th and 37.
Indians still going to go for the 2.
Yes, they are. Karn with the ball. He's going to try to run into the end zone, and a flag on the play. Let's see if he made it. Flag on the play. I'm not so sure. We didn't see a call from the official that he got in, so let's see what it's all about.
Holding. Number 60, the
Holding
offense.
call against the Indians.
Penalty will be declined.
Penalties decline, so that means we've got a 22-0 game with just 59 seconds left to go in the half. Well, Micah Karn to Toops for the score.
Yeah, nice, well-designed play and everything. But, you know, the Indians have, in my opinion, so much dominated this game thus far. The score should be even more than 22-0.
They've dominated the game, but the score doesn't reflect it.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Bob.
They could have had 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. Well, let's see who's going to kick it off. I think it's going to be Austin Burns, if I'm not mistaken, and that's who's putting it on the tee. So Austin Burns is going to kick it off. Green Wave has, well, I hate to say they've never threatened, but they had Marcus Wood down at the 1-yard line when he coughed it up. So close, but no cigars for the Green Wave at this point.
I would not allow him to get his hands on the football with this kick.
Not with the time left in the half.
No, 59 seconds remaining. I would be sure that it's a kick to the other side of the field, away from him, or even a short kick. Give Greenville better field position than normal.
And that's exactly what it's going to be. Going to go down to the 25-yard line, picked up by number 7. That's Demare Ewing. He's still running around trying to get loose. Can't do it. Goes all the way back to about the 26, 27-yard line. So the Green Wave's going to have it, but they trail 22-0 with 49 seconds left to go in the first half. We'll have all of the homecoming festivities for you as they transpire here at halftime at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. Let's see what Greenville decides to do in the waning moment of the second quarter. 3 wide outs to the near side, 1 to the far side. You think Bikey was probably going to put it in the air. Let's see if that's what he does. And he's got back to pass. Gets away from a couple tacklers, but to little or no avail. Looks like before he was tackled, he gained about, they're going to give him about a yard. So
Brennan Toop's in there to make the stop for the Indians from his defensive line position. Brennan just came across and did a nice job of taking down the quarterback.
Clock is running, so whether or not we're going to have another play in the first half, and there is absolutely no haste in the offense on the Greenville side. In fact, Bob, I believe it would be safe to say that's going to be the last play of the half. It's halftime here at Alexander Stadium, Perkfield. Piqua 22, Greenville nothing. We'll be back right now. Let's take this timeout.
Celebration Saturday Night Fever Homecoming.
Welcome back to Alexander Stadium, Perkfield, with the halftime score: Piqua 22, Greenville nothing. Time now to introduce our 2018 homecoming court, and we're ready to do that, and pleased to do so. Our first queen candidate is Kelsey Bachman. Kelsey's the daughter of Kirk and Anita Bachman. During her 4 years at PHS, Kelsey has been a member of Student Council, serving as president of her class the last 2 years, a leader on the golf team, earning several school records, a member of the athletic leadership group, and a leader for the student section. She has made honor roll for all 4 years. Her community activities include volunteering with the Echo Hills Junior Golf Camp. After graduation, Kelsey plans to attend Capital University to play golf and to study pre-optometry and eventually become an optometrist. Kelly's escort this evening is King candidate Mason Darner. Mason is the son of Brent Darner and Dana Gwynn. Mason has been the president of Interact, the vice president of Key Club and National Honor Society, a member of Student Council, and a member of the show choir. He made honor roll all 4 years, and he served on the Attorney General's General Ambassador Board. In the future, he plans to attend the University of Chicago, majoring in neuroscience with the hopes of becoming a neurosurgeon. Our first couple, Kelsey Bachman and Mason Darner.
A member of Student Council and a member of show choir.
Queen candidate number 2 is Elizabeth Cox. Elizabeth is the daughter of Matt and Katie Cox. While at PHS, Liz has been a member of the swim team, cross-country team, and link leaders. She has also served as an office aide. She is currently undecided about her future plans. Liz's escort this evening is Ethan Polsnyder, who is filling in for King candidate Craig Hemmert. Craig is the son of Aaron and Aaron Hemmert, been a member of the football team 3 years at PHS. He has achieved an honor roll for all 4 years, been a part of the top 100. He was in concert choir last year. His future plans include continuing his education at the Ohio State University. Liz Cox and Craig Hemmert.
Craig is the son of Aaron and Aaron Hemmert.
The third queen candidate is Morgan Hamill. Morgan is the daughter of Doug and Carol Mertz. Her extracurricular activities include link leaders, Friends of Rachel, Top 100, Interact Club, and 4 years on Student Council. She was also chosen as Optimist of the Year. Outside of school, she works at Pizza Hut, participates in Young Life, and volunteers for several organizations. After graduation, Morgan plans to attend Ohio University to study criminal psychology and then attend law school. Morgan's escort this evening is Devin Nash, who is filling in for King candidate Micah Karn. Micah is the son of Travis and Shaney Karn. Micah's been a member of the men's chorus, the football team, the basketball team, and the baseball team. Outside of school, he's active in his church. He works as a lifeguard and serves as a referee for Piqua Youth Sports. In the future, he plans to attend Edison State Community College and participate in the Police Academy. Morgan Hamill and Micah Karn.
Micah is the son of Travis and Shaney Karn. Micah has been a member of men's chorus.
Our fourth queen candidate is Casey Levy. Kaylee is the daughter of Ryan Lacey and Tonya Bragg. Her PHS activities including playing 4 years of soccer, serving as varsity soccer captain. She's also been a member of Link Leaders, Student Council, Top 100, and Art Club. Outside of school, she helps with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Kaylee plans to attend Miami University to study child psychology. Her escort this evening is King candidate Cade Lyman. Cade is the son of Michelle and Jeff Lyman. Cade's been a member of Link Leaders, Concert Choir, and Top 100. He is a 4-year varsity soccer player, serving as captain the past 3 years. His future plans include attending the University of Cincinnati to study engineering. Kaylee Lacey and Cade Lyman.
To attend Miami University to study child psychology. Her escort this evening is King candidate Cade Lyman. Cade is the son of Michelle and Jeff Lyman. Cade has been a member of Link Leaders.
Queen candidate number 5 is Kitty Lampy. Kitty is the daughter of Patricia Lampy. While at PHS, she's been a member of Women's Chorus and Link Leaders. She's also participated in track and softball. She's active in Young Life. After graduation, Kitty wants to attend Edison Community College and become a Young Life leader. Her escort this evening is King candidate Christian Sterrett. Christian is the son of Lonnie and Michelle Sterrett. Christian's extracurricular activities include serving as president of the National Honor Society, secretary of Student Council, secretary and treasurer of the Key Club, and vice president of Interact. He is also a section leader in show choir and a member of the varsity golf team. He was a Mike DeWine teen ambassador and a graduate of Buckeye Boys State. In the future, he plans to attend Belmont University in Nashville, double majoring in guitar performance and music business. Kitty Lampy and Christian Sterrett.
Serving as president of the NHS, secretary of Student Council, secretary and treasurer of Key Club, and vice president of Interact. He is also a section leader in show choir and a member of the varsity golf team. He was a Mike DeWine teen ambassador and a graduate of Buckeye Boys State. In the future, he plans to attend Belmont University in Nashville, double majoring in guitar performance.
Queen candidate 6 is Grace McGonigal. Grace is the daughter of Carrie McGonigal. During her 4 years at Piqua High School, she's been a basketball athletic trainer and a cross-country runner. She was also a member of Link Leaders. After she graduates, Grace wants to attend Wright State to study sports medicine. Her escort this evening is Jackson Hilskamp, who is filling in for King candidate Brendan Toops. Brendan is the son of Patrick and April Toops. While at Piqua High School, Brendan's been a member of Link Leaders, Concert Choir, the baseball team, and the Rubik Cubes Club. He's a 2-year varsity football starter and received GWAC Special Mention last year. Outside of school, he's worked for the youth football camp, rung the bell for the Salvation Army, and worked at the Miami County Festival. Brennan plans to attend either Miami University School of Business or the University of Cincinnati for electrical engineering. Grace McGonigal and Brennan Toops.
Rung the bell for the Salvation Army and worked at the Miami County Festival. Brennan plans to either attend Miami University School of Business or the University of Cincinnati for electrical engineering.
Queen candidate number 7 is Haley McPherson. Haley is the daughter of Bob and Shirley McPherson. Her Piqua High School activities include Link Leaders, Top 100, National Honor Society, the 4 Club, Student Council, basketball, and track. She is a 4-year member of the soccer team, earning GWAC second team MVP. She participates as a member for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. After graduation, Haley wants to attend the University of Dayton or the Ohio State University to study physical therapy. Her escort this evening is Kobe Patton, who is filling in for King candidate Grant Toops. Grant is the son of Brian and Kelly Toops. while at Piqua High School he's been a member of the football team for 4 years, 3 of those on the varsity. He's also been a member of men's chorus for 4 years. He has helped for 2 years with the Piqua Pee Wee football camp and the speed camp. His plans for the future include attending college, majoring in business. Haley McPherson and Grant Coops.
He's also been a member of the men's chorus for 4 years. He has helped for 2 years with the Piqua Pee Wee football camp and the speed camp. His plans for the future include attending college, majoring in business. Ladies and gentlemen, Haley McPherson and
Our final
Grant
queen candidate is Skylar Sloan. Skylar is the daughter of Holly and Randy Knife and Randy and Angie Sloan. While at Piqua High School, she's been a member of National Honor Society Linklaters in the top 100. She's played varsity golf all 4 years, earning GWAC special mention. She also plays basketball and runs track. She currently serves as the vice president of her class and student council. She serves as a mentor for the Big Brothers Big Sisters. After graduation, she plans to attend Bluffton University to run track and study criminology. Her escort this evening is Brandon Grissom, who is filling in for King candidate Owen Toops. Owen is the son of Mike and Jody Toops. During his time at Piqua High School, he played varsity football and baseball for 3 years. He's also been a member of men's chorus for 3 years. His community activities include helping with youth football camps and speed camps. He plans to attend Ohio University to study engineering. Skylar Sloan and Owen Toops.
Community activities include helping with youth football camps and speed camps. He plans to attend Ohio University to study engineering.
Finally, we have the reigning homecoming queen, Isaiah Johnson, and her escort, reigning homecoming king, Alex Phillips. Isaiah is currently enrolled at Edison Community College and is working for UPS. Alex, son of Anian and Jonathan Phillips, is attending Sinclair Community College with plans of transferring to UD to major in engineering. And we're waiting now for the homecoming candidates to find out who is our 2018 homecoming queen. Waiting now for that announcement. It'll come from public address announcer Doug Ham.
2018.
All of the queen candidates and their escorts are on the Piqua sideline, waiting now for the announcement as to who is going to be the homecoming queen.
The moment you've all been waiting for. The 2018 Piqua High School homecoming queen is Kitty Lampy.
Kitty Lampy is going to be our homecoming queen for 2018.
The 2018 Piqua High School.
Kitty's the daughter of Patricia Lampy, and her escort this evening is Christian Sterrett. So she's getting the congratulations of everyone down on the sideline, and she will preside tomorrow night at the homecoming dance. Very, very impressive group of young men and women. Men and women we can be very, very proud of, Bob, to be part of the Piqua High School student body. Well, the homecoming festivities have come to a conclusion. Now, let's turn things over to Bob Luby so he can give us the halftime statistics. Piqua 22, Greenville nothing. Bob?
Okay, as Dwayne indicated, 22-0, the Indians ahead here at halftime. Statistically, first downs, Greenville had 1 first down in the first half. Piqua had 16. Greenville rushed 10 times for 76 yards. Piqua rushed 27 times for 235 times. Greenville was 1 for 4 passing for 2 yards. Piqua was 8 for 14 passing for 72 yards. Total offense, Greenville had 14 plays for a total of 78 yards. Piqua had 41 plays for a total of 307 yards. That's pretty good half's work there.
It certainly is.
307 yards. Fumbles, Greenville had 2, they lost 1. Piqua had 2, they lost 1. Penalty yardage, Greenville penalized 4 times for 44 yards. Piqua penalized 5 times for 56 yards. And I think, Dwayne, everybody will remember from Greenville that penalty when they roughed the kicker, when it was 4th and 37. Huh?
roughed the kicker for a 30-yard penalty.
Oh man, I'll tell you, that drive the coach off the top of the stands over there. Here's another one. Time of possession. Greenville had the football for 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Piqua had it for 18 minutes and 5 seconds. That's one of the goals. Piqua wanted to get that offense and keep them on the field, and they certainly did a good job of that. Rushing yardage, Micah Karn rushed for 166 yards. That was probably his best half of the year.
Yes, it probably was.
Corin Coleman rushed for 23 yards. Matt Blankenship had 23 yards. Brennan Toops had 11 yards. For Greenville, Marcus Wood had 57 yards. Landon Elridge, boy, this is not a good night for him. 7 rushes for 18 yards. And Tyler Bikey, 1 rush for 1 yard. Passing, as we indicated, Micah Karn was 8 for 13, 72 yards. Bikey was 1 for 4, 2 yards. Pass receiving, Colin Rowe, 3 receptions, 20 yards. Owen Toops, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Garrett Shrub, 1 reception, 13 yards. Matt Blankenship, 1 reception, 10 yards. For Greenville, Damari Ewing had 1 reception for 2 yards. I'll tell you, that just kind of indicates how lopsided the first half was. And it could have been worse. Piqua gave up field position in various ways with penalties and turnover and so on. But the Indians dominating this game, 307 total yards to Greenville's 78 yards. Now we come back in the second half. Greenville's going to get the football to start the second half, so the Indians are going to have to shut them down and go back on offense to get their offensive machine going again.
Bob, let's talk a little bit about the games remaining on the Piqua schedule. Next Friday night, they'll go to Vandalia Butler. I think Vandalia Butler coming in tonight was 4-2, and I tend to think, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing Troy, and I think that will be significant in the fact that we'll find out how good both teams are. And again, I tend to think the Indians going to Vandalia Butler are going to have their hands full with the Aviators.
Oh, no question about that. Vandalia is a good football team. And I think that Piqua will have to play well to win the football game. That's just, now I'm not sure if Vandalia can beat Troy. I'll be surprised if they do, but it's possible.
Well, and then the next week it's going to be Tip City coming here to Alexander Stadium. The Tip City kids have had a rocky season. Scored a lot of points, gave up a lot of points, and again, I think they're 3-3 on the season. I don't know what would be an observation based on what we know about Tip City to date.
I'll tell you, I don't know a whole lot about Tip City. I think I will say they're an okay team.
Yeah,
they fit in the middle. Not great, not bad, okay. Got some people probably that can really hurt you, but maybe not enough to be a dominating team.
Then, of course, we finished the season with the Troy Trojans visiting Alexander Stadium. At this point in time, it could be a huge game. Troy Trojans have been beaten, but have also played very, very well. I still think, and you look at the GWAC North, Troy's the team to beat.
Oh, yeah, they seem to be dominating most people, and it will take a Herculean effort to beat Troy, I think. And it's possible, when two rivals get together, anything can happen, but the Indians would certainly have to play well to win that football game.
And if I'm not mistaken, Troy is, are they playing
Vandalia tonight?
Vandalia tonight. Sydney's playing Tip City. The Sydney-Tip City winner will maybe be indicative of what Tip City might have in store for the Indians in a couple of weeks.
And I've heard no scores yet of either of those games, so I'm not sure how they are moving along, but I'm sure they're at least halftime in their games. Hey, Dwayne, here's something I learned the other day talking to Bill Neese. Where are some of the former Indians, and how are they doing in college?
Oh, that's
playing
interesting.
Football. Andy Monin, I think his first name, wasn't it Andy? He was a tight end here.
Sure.
Went to Kent State. They moved him to guard, and he's starting for a guard at Kent State. Tristan Cox is at Elon down in South. He's starting there. Derek Height is redshirting at Youngstown State. Smeezing's over to High State, and he's dressing for home games. Just a walk-on, but doing real well, I guess. And Darian Tips Clements is now at Eastern Kentucky, and he's been playing quite a bit there. Those are the ones I know about. It's nice to hear about the alums and how they're doing.
Oh, it certainly is. Again, some of them are playing their first or second year, probably limited playing time, maybe a few red shirts in there someplace. But again, doing well to represent Piqua on the collegiate front. Well, we're just about ready to start the second half here at Alexander Stadium. Piqua with a 22-0 lead. Piqua's going to kick it off, and kicking it off is going to be Austin Burns.
Special thank you for all the workers.
Austin Burns going to kick it off. We're waiting now for the Green Wave to come onto the field. And Marcus Wood and John Butch probably going to be deep to get the kick right now. The Indian players are on the field looking a bit impatient because the Green Wave still on the sideline with their head coach. Now here they come onto the field. Just about ready to start it here at Alexander Stadium on homecoming. Our congratulations to Kitty Lampy for being our homecoming queen 2018. Here we go. Here's the kick.
Deep for the Green Wave.
Squib kick. Now picked up by Alec Fletcher. Alec Fletcher.
On the return.
But didn't do a bad job of returning it, Bob. They're going to put it near the 40-yard line, I think.
Fletcher.
Let's see where they put the football.
And on the stop for the Indians, number 8.
Let's see once. Yep, right on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. Green Wave have not dented the scoreboard, but had Marcus Wood loose, and he fumbled on the 1-yard line. But the Indians took it over and basically have kept the Green Wave out of the end zone all evening. Bikey hands it off to his running back. That's Landon Eldridge. Landon Eldridge that time, Bob, probably got his longest run of the night. Gets into Piqua territory down to about the 40-yard line. Going to be a first down for the Green Wave.
Well, we said coming in, Landon Eldridge, tremendous back, number 34. He had 14 touchdowns coming into tonight's game, averaged about almost 8 yards a carry.
Bikey pitches it out again to Eldridge. Eldridge going to get a yard, going to get maybe 2, but that's just about it. Eldridge tries the right side of the line, but Piqua defense equal to the occasion.
Little option play. Matt Blankenship came up from his inside linebacker spot to make the tackle, led to charge for the Indians.
Bikey waiting for the snap. He's going to throw it out to the right flat. He's going to throw it out to Marcus Wood. Wood's got it. Turns the corner, gets down to the 40-yard line. Going to get a couple. Going to be 3rd down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down, and just about. Looks to me like it's going to be 3rd down, maybe just a little less than 5 yards.
Zane Booker and Matt Blankenship
Boy,
together.
Green Wave not going into a huddle. Bikey getting them up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Hands it off to Eldridge again. Eldridge this time, boy, they're a pile of jerseys on that one. Eldridge got a couple, but he's short of the first down. 4th down with a deficit of 22-0. Looks to me like the Green Wave is going to decide to try to keep possession of the football.
Right at the Piqua, looks like the 37-yard line, 38.
Bikey with the snap. Going to keep it, going to pitch it out to Eldridge. Eldridge this time got running room. Eldridge is well beyond the stakes, going to get it inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. On the option play, Bikey to Eldridge.
Almost felt like that was the play was going to happen because they like Eldridge, they like the option play, and if there's been one successful play for them, it's been that option play.
1st and 10. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Bikey. He's going to hold on to it this time. Going to get down to about the 25-yard line. Bikey on a keeper.
Bikey, your ball carrier.
He hasn't carried the ball too much, I don't
No,
believe,
he
Bob.
hasn't. He hasn't. Matt Blankenship, number 40, was at the bottom of the pile on that tackle. But Greenville's starting to generate some offense here, coming out and moving the football very well.
Got it on the Piqua 25-yard line. Bikey hands it off to Eldridge. I believe Eldridge tries to try the middle of the Piqua line, but not much luck. Not much luck at all. It's going to be third down, Let's call it a long 8.
Yeah, the Indians shuffled, stuffed that. Zane Arbogast, number 65, made the stop, or led the charge for the Indians.
Let's see what the Wave do now. Third down. Bikey bobbles the ball. It's on the ground. Let's see who covered it. Bikey picked it up and then dropped it a second time.
I think Zane Arbogast came
Yeah,
up with the football.
Piqua's got it. Arbogast picks it off for the Indians. So the turnover is going to give it to Piqua, which again denies the Green Wave a chance to get on the scoreboard.
I tell you, Zane held his ground, dug it in, pulled the ball away, and fell on it and picked it up for the Indians.
So now let's see what the Indians do. They've done a nice job offensively. 22 points to show for it, but a couple times might have passed up an opportunity, but have been well in charge of this ball game. Karn pitches it out. Pitches it out to Coleman. Coleman around the left side. Yeah, let's be generous and give him 2. Let's call it second down and 8.
Yeah, a little option play, and he cut it back inside. Couldn't find a lot of running room, but he did pick up 2.
8 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Piqua 22, Greenville nothing. Homecoming night here at Alexander Stadium. Indians up to the line of scrimmage. This time Micah Karn over center. He dropped the football, picked it up, and is going to get a couple yards, but at least kept possession of the football. Going to be third down. Let's call it third down and 7, but that's a little generous. Yeah, Micah picked it up and then dropped it, then picked it up again and got a yard or 2, but kept possession of the football.
With the tackle, as well as number 60, Nathan Fry.
Glad you joined us tonight. Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby. Piqua versus Greenville, 22-0. Third quarter, Piqua with the advantage. Here they come up to the line of scrimmage. This time Micah goes to the shotgun. The snap. He's holding on to it. He's going to go around the right side. He just about twists away from a white jersey, but they were able to bring him down. And if that defender hadn't brought him down, Micah might have had a few more yards, but going to bring up fourth down, and the Indians are going to punt it. Bob, could this be the first punt of the night for the Indians?
Yes. Jacob Hepner's in there at center now, so we indicated Jacob Strayer came out with a leg injury in the first half, and he's not back in there yet.
Micah Karn's going to kick it away, standing on his own 23-yard line. Deep for Greenville's number 1, Marcus Wood. The snap, good. The kick, line drive type kick. Wood's going to pick it up at the 20-yard line. Trying to get some running room, doesn't have a bit of luck. A lot of blue jerseys bring him down at about the 25-yard line.
Good coverage by the Indians. McKeegan Kuhn down there early, number 37, to tackle Wood. Good coverage by the Indians.
First and 10 now for the Green Wave, who would just desperately like Bob to get on the scoreboard. That 22-0, and they've got the 0, is not what they came to Piqua for tonight. They're going to have the ball first and 10. The ball's going to be resting on their own 27-yard line. They huddled around their coaching staff on the far side, now coming up to the line of scrimmage. Tyler Bikey. Gets the ball. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to go over to left tackle, going to get to the 30. Picked up a few. Boy, I thought he got a little more than that. We'll give him 3, but that's going to make it second down and 7. Quickly, green wave to the line of scrimmage. Mikey in the spread formation. Picks it out, gives it off to Eldridge. Oh, Eldridge is dropped for a loss back at the 25. He never had a chance, Bob.
Number 87, Grant Toops, came across from his defensive tackle spot and just shut that down quickly. Excuse me, defensive end.
Well, back to third down now. So the loss is going to make it third down and 11. Beautiful play there by the defensive Piqua. Bikey. 3 wide outs to the near side, 1 to the top side. Back to pass. Getting some pressure, trying to go around the left side. Going to throw it away, throws it into the Greenville bench. Incomplete. That's going to make it fourth down and a punting situation for Greenville.
Yeah, not a real energetic series there for the Green Wave.
Could there have been a penalty there, Bob? I see the referee huddling with one of the other officials, although I don't see a yellow flag on the surface. Let's see what it's all about.
There is a flag on the play.
Still don't see the yellow flag, but I guess there's one out there somewhere.
After the play is over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense, 15-yard penalty.
Personal foul on Piqua. Again, Bob, those personal fouls are just, I don't know how you describe them, but just things that you just can't have, especially if you happen to be in a ball game where the difference is a lot less than 22. I think that's our third personal foul of the game, and like you say, that is unnecessary.
Well, that's the third down personal foul, too. That would have forced the punt had that not happened.
First and 10 for the Wave. Bikey hands it off. I believe Eldridge has got it. Eldridge tries the middle of the line and meets a lot of resistance. I'm not sure he gained anything. Let's see whether or not they give him credit for any. I believe they're going to say second down and 10.
Number 8, Jarrell Lewis, the bottom of that pile. He stuffed that thing right at the line of scrimmage.
5 minutes left to go, third quarter, 22-0 Piqua. Bikey. Pass out on the right flat to Marcus Wood. Marcus Wood trying to turn inside. Got a couple, but not very many.
Indians reacted very well to that. Jerron Coleman out there to make the stop along with Brennan Toops.
Bob, I think they gave him a yard, but that might be a generous assessment.
Yeah, that play was shut down pretty quickly.
Third down, let's call it third down and 9. Bikey. Back to pass. Getting some pressure. Gets it out here to number 7. That's Damari Ewing. Damari Ewing. It looked like Damari coughed it up, but I believe maybe after the whistle had blown. Let's see once. A little confusion down there on the Piqua sideline.
Yeah, there's no signal of a fumble or recovery.
Right.
So it is fourth down.
Fourth down. Now the Green Wave going back to punt is number 82. That's Ethan Flannery. Toops and Foster back for Piqua. The snap, it's a good one. Here's the kick. Oh, it's almost blocked, but he got it away. Fair catch called for by Owen Toops at the 25-yard line. Just about got that one blocked, Bob.
Yeah, I don't know how it wasn't blocked. The way I saw the Piqua defender in there, it looked like there's no way he would not be able to get his hands on it.
So the Indians take over first and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Time in the third quarter, we got 3.5 minutes left. 22-0 Piqua. Been a kind of an unusual game in certain respects, Bob. it's one of those cases where it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen next.
The Indians got off to a quick start, and then, I don't know, they seemed to slow down here in the end of the first half and into the third quarter.
Let's see what the Indians do on 1st and 10. Karn. He's going to pass into the flat. Pass out here to Keegan Patton. Oh, Keegan Patton almost got away. Keegan Patton with a big gainer into Greenville territory. Keegan hasn't seen the ball much tonight, but he got that one and skirted down the Piqua sideline for a big gainer.
Looked like he's got pretty good speed, too. He
Yes.
broke away. I think that's going to come back.
Well, we do have a flag on the ground, so let's see what happened.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 1 of the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Personal foul on number 1, Jake Meyer. Boy,
I'll
oh
tell
boy,
you.
Bob.
To me, that's ridiculous now. I don't know what's happening. Is it a bad call by the officials, or have the players just play without any common sense at all?
And it negates a nice pass for Patton as well. So that's going to make it first down and probably 22. Karn back to Patton. Oh, he's got somebody over the middle. Had Patton over the middle. He couldn't come down with it. Had Patton picked that one off, Bob, I think there's nothing but green in front of him.
It was one defender back there, and Patton just couldn't get his hands on the football. If he catches that football, I think he's gone.
So that's going to make it 2nd down and long. Glad you've joined us tonight. Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby. Homecoming night here at Piqua High School. 2nd down and long for the Indians. Micah Karn. Looking downfield. Now he's going to run it. Got a little room. Now he's going to reverse himself. Throw it across the field. But I believe there's going to be a penalty there, Bob. I wonder if he didn't go beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that one up. Penalty on the play. The pass was completed to Dylan Cheney.
That was a dangerous pass, too, because he was throwing that right into the teeth of the defense, back towards the middle. He was on.
Illegal forward pass. Offense, number 11.
Illegal forward pass. He was past the line of scrimmage, I believe. When he picked that up, I think that's also lost it down. So Micah thought he could run and then changed his mind and reversed himself and then came forward again, but beyond the line of scrimmage and picked up the penalty. Well, 2nd down and a long way to go for the Indians. Wideouts to the top side, 2 to the near side. Micah handed it off to, oh boy, I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Jarrell Lewis.
Yeah,
Jarrell Lewis on the keeper, and he gets to the 16-yard line, but 4th down, and the Indians are going to have to punt it way deep in their own territory. Second half, Bob, has been almost a contrast to the first half, hasn't it?
Yeah, the offense is not in sync. Penalties are killing the Piqua Indians, just killing them. And they're not 5-yarders, they're 15-yarders, and loss of down penalties destroys an offense.
Micah Karn from the 4-yard line. High kick. Picked off by Marcus Wood. Marcus Wood around the left side. Boy, he's picked up some blockers. He's going to be hard to catch. In fact, he's going to run back, he's going to cut back, and he's going to put one on the board. So Marcus Wood returns a punt for a touchdown. And I imagine, Bob, that was about a 60-yarder, if I'm not mistaken. Went down the back sideline, cut back inside, and then hit the middle of the field. And with his speed, Bob, the Indians weren't able to catch up with it.
Well, we said all along, you got to keep the ball away from him. You got to keep the ball away from him because he's a big playmaker, and he certainly has all the skills to. Number 37 for the Indians, McKeegan Kuhn, was down there, but he wasn't in a position to tackle him after he caught the football.
PAT by the Green Wave. That's going to be Ethan Flannery. The snap, the kick, it's up and it is good.
And the extra point is good.
So that's going to make it 22-7 in favor of the Indians.
It's your Indians 22, the Green Wave 7.
With 2 minutes and 1 second left to go in the third quarter. Well, we wonder how long it was going to be before Greenville got on the board. I guess I didn't expect it to be a 60-yard return on a punt, Bob.
No. I didn't. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but I knew he has that ability to make those kind of plays happen. And that's why you got to kick it away from him. I don't care how far or how high you can kick it. You don't make it easy for him to get his hands on the football.
When he gets 2 strides in front of the defender, it's lights out.
Yeah, he's a sprinter. He is a sprinter.
Well, now let's see what happens as the Green Wave on the scoreboard for the first time, 22-7. 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. Ethan Flannery will kick it off for the visitors.
Trenton Foster, Teron Coleman, and Owen Toops deep for the Indians.
Indians have 3 men deep. Foster, Toops, and Coleman. Waiting now for the signal from the referee that we can kick this one off, and here comes Flannery.
Would you come back with a short kick here?
Boy, I don't know, Bob. This might be a good time to catch somebody off concentration, but no. High kick going to go down to the 12-yard line. Going to be brought back. By Foster. Foster's got some running room. He's finally down at the 30, 25-yard line. Oh boy, Foster does a beautiful job, Bob. Boy, he's a
nice
beautiful.
return.
Trenton Foster returned it all the way down to the Greenville. Let's see where they're going to spot inside the 30-yard line. Boy, you got to like this young fellow.
Yeah, the Indians did a nice job of blocking that too. They had a kind of a semi-wall out here, and he was able to get behind that and just with his speed weave his way through the Greenville kick return team.
Beautiful run by Foster. 1st and 10 for the Indians. They've got it inside the 30-yard line of the Wave. Karn hands it off to Coleman. Oh, Coleman's got some running room. He's down to the 15.
Boy, he hits a hole, just has a burst. Has that quick step, and he's got the good legs, and he can find daylight. There's a man for Greenville down.
Yes, there is. An injured
For an injured player.
Greenville player. Comes the medical staff from across the way to take a peek. I don't know. Well, Bob, I think, you almost can see the number, but I'm not so sure we want to guess about something like that.
No.
Glad you've joined us tonight. Dwayne Bachman, Bob Luby. Channel 5 will be back. Not next week, because they're going to be playing at Vandalia Butler, but the week after, Tip City's going to come to town, and you'll want to make sure that you tune in to Channel 5 for that telecast, because Tip City, I think, Tip City is one of those teams that can always be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Piqua will not have an easy time with Tip City.
And again, looking at the, well, we can't see who the injured player is, but he's not moving very much, so let's hope it isn't anything very serious. Next week, Piqua goes to Vandalia Butler. Bob, could be a ball game.
Oh, I think it will be. I think Indians are going to have to play well to win down there. Butler is, well, remember last year here.
Yes.
Butler gave us all we could handle and had to play awfully well, had to steal the ball. I think it was Smeezing that took the ball away from a Vandalia ball carrier last year to stop a drive in the latter part of the game.
I believe you're right. Now, for some reason, the referee is coming over to the Piqua bench. Bob, I'm not exactly sure what that's all about.
think he wanted to drink.
Hate to say it, Bob, but I think the official just took time out for a little water, and that's okay too. The injured Greenville player is getting some attention. Well, again, Bob, I think as we look at the year for the Indians will go 5-2 now after tonight's victory. You can't be too dissatisfied with that. The loss to Chaminade was a tough one, although that's a pretty good ball club. You mentioned something in our pregame show about their quarterback playing the first 5 of the games, and because of the eligibility requirements, he's not playing the last 5. Now the question is he eligible for the postseason?
I don't think so. I think his half the season, and it has to be the first 5, and it's over. So that was that's what happens when you transfer. You make a decision, and it's a choice. Do you want to stay where you are and play the full year, or go somewhere else and play half the year, have to watch the rest of them?
And I would imagine tonight, I think the young fellow's name is Snyder, if I'm not mistaken. He's on the CJ sideline without probably a uniform on, wondering, oh my golly, did I make the right choice? And I'm sure that was not done with a lot of thought. But again, maybe CJ's got another quarterback that is anxious to move in, but that's to be seen. Right now, I think we have to be concerned. The young player from Greenville is still on his back, and a lot of medical staff people taking a look at him. I hope we won't be able to find out because of our view from up here, but he's not moving very much at all. Can you tell, Bob, whether it might be a leg injury or?
Can't really tell.
No, you can't. He's surrounded by
there's about
medical staff people.
6 people around him right now.
Yeah. Well,
he's going to sit up.
He's sitting up anyway. I think it's number 10, Bob.
Yeah.
Do I have that right?
Yes.
Number 10, that's Ethan Seiler.
He's a linebacker, 5'9", 160-pound senior.
Well.
And that's a good indication.
Yes,
he's
it
sitting
is. That's
up.
a good sign. Good sign. Never like to see anybody get hurt in the football game. And to our knowledge, the injuries to the Piqua Indians this year have been what you might call minimal. Is that would that be your assessment, Bob? You know a little bit more about the individuals than I might, but we had Hemmert out for a couple games. But generally speaking, injuries have not been crucial to the Piqua offense or defense.
No, I think Motter broke a bone early maybe even in August, and he's been out ever since. But other than that, I don't think there have been any real crippling injuries. Number 10.
Ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
Bob,
number
it's not
16.
it's number 16.
Number 16.
16, and that is
that
Colton Zimbrun.
Yeah, he's a starter.
Yeah.
6'3", 185-pound senior. And
He's up, Bob, but he's not moving very gingerly at this point.
yeah, he's a wide receiver and a safety on defense. He plays both ways, and they're helping him off the field right now. He's walking.
Yes, certainly is a good sign based on the severity of the injury, but I'm guessing that young fellow is going to have the rest of the evening off, as well he should.
Yeah, he may have gotten his bell rung. Who knows? I mean, that's just a guess. He is managing with just very little assistance
Right.
to get off.
Right.
Doesn't seem to be a knee or a leg.
Yep. Well, good to see him be able to get to the sideline, and hope he's going to be okay. Now back to the live action. Piqua with the football. 1st and 10, ball resting on the 17-yard line.
McKeegan Kuhn and Jerome Lewis flanking Micah Karn.
Hand off to Lewis. Lewis right up the gut. Boy, he's got good strength, Bob, inside the 10-yard line. Short of a first down, I believe, but I like this young sophomore.
He's not a speedster. He's a plower.
That's right.
He plows. Boy, he just knocks people down. A road grader. clock continues to tick. 1:14 left in the third quarter.
Piqua with a 22-7 advantage. Second down, let's call it second down and 8. Excuse me, second down and 2. Bob, I don't know who got the ball.
Lewis again.
Okay, Lewis looks like he's going to have enough well beyond the stakes. Looks, yep.
He's inside the 5-yard line.
Right, first and goal for the Indians.
They're going to mark it, I think, on the
Landon Eldridge with the tackle.
3-yard line.
Yeah.
First and goal for the Indians. They're trying to add to the 22-7 lead that they have. Breaking the huddle. Toops to the top side, Shrub to the near side. The snap. Karn trying to wiggle his way into the end zone is going to be a little short, I believe.
He's about to the maybe 1.5.
Yes, a little short of the touchdown.
Karn down near the 1 before being
Yep.
brought down by number 50, Drew.
Going to be second down and goal to go. Ball resting right on the 1-yard line.
They'll bring up second down and goal for the Indians.
Play coming in from the Piqua sideline.
They may not get this one off. Clock ticking 4 seconds.
It's going to be he's going to get it off. Going to give it off to Coleman. Coleman into the end zone for the score. So number 25, Corin Coleman picks up the touchdown. That's 6. Let's see what they do for the extra point, which basically might be less than material at this point in time.
Nice blocking at the point of attack by the Indians. Coleman just followed the left side of his line and just took it in almost untouched.
I think they're going to go for 2, Bob. Yes, they are. Yes, they are going to go for 2 PAT. Karn going to throw it in the end zone. Going to throw it deep to Shrub. I think he got it.
He did.
Yes, he did. Nice work there by Garrett Shrub, a sophomore. Because there was somebody pretty close to it. He just reached over and picked that one off. So that's a 2-pointer. So that's going to make it 41 for Piqua. So I got that right, Bob?
No, 30. 30 to 7.
30 to 7.
I'll tell you, Garrett Shrub has a benefit of being 6'3", too.
Yes.
And when you're 6'3", and try to have a corner covering you, maybe that's 5'10", 5'11", you have a decided advantage in that kind of situation. And Garrett just went up and reached up and outreached the defender and pulled in and nicely thrown. Micah Karn threw a very nice football on that play. Made it easy for Garrett to catch the football.
He was not all by himself as we had earlier with one of our receivers. He was covered, but again, the name Shrub is consistent with outstanding athletic talent as well. So that makes it 30 to 7.
Additionally, the Moms Club would like to thank all of the 27 sponsors that helped make the 5K race a successful event for our community.
Here comes the kick. Austin Burns going to kick it away deep. Again, we got Marcus Wood and John Butch deep.
Hey, guys, don't kick it to Marcus Wood.
Line drive kick. Not going to go to Woods. Who's it going to go to? It's going to go to John Butch. John Butch is going to be wrestled out of bounds right in front of the Piqua bench. First and 10 for the Wave. They trailed 30 to 7.
Trenton Foster in company with the
Start of the fourth quarter, the Indians finally came alive here in the second half. Put some points on the board.
Now we'll see if they can take it away from the Wave and try to hit the end zone one more time. Wave over on the far side talking to their respective coaching staff. Here they come. First and 10, Bikey getting ready to take the snap. 30 to 7 in favor of the Indians. The start of the fourth quarter here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. Bikey. Pass on the right side into the flat. I believe it was completed, Bob, but the receiver who was, I think that's number 8, if I got that one right.
I think so.
Grady Mitchum, I think, picked that one off at his shoe tops. So it was a completed pass for 9 yards. Quickly, here come the Green Wave on an option play. The ball's on the ground. It's loose. Let's see. Pickwa's going to pick it up. Owen Toops has got it. He's going to pick it up. And unless Bikey can catch him, he can't. Owen Toops going to pick up the touchdown on the fumble.
You know, if you're an option football team, you would think you are drilled in that pitch relationship with your halfback. Greenville just hasn't run that very well. They put the ball on the ground on numerous occasions this evening, and they've dodged a few bullets, but that one they didn't. Pick up a fumble and run with it, and Owen Toops takes it to the house.
So let's see what the Indians are going to do here. They've been going for 2, and I think that's I'm not so sure. I think we're going to kick this one.
I think there's a kicking tee out there. I think they're going to kick this one.
I think Micah Karn is going to try to put this one between the uprights. 36-7 is the score. Let's see what happens with the extra point. The snap, the kick. It's up. Oh, that was no good. So it's going to be 36-7. That one, I think, might have been deflected at the line of scrimmage, Bob. So 36-7 with still a lot of time, over 14 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. 36-7 in favor of the Indians. Well, Bob, 36-7, I guess you would call it lopsided at this point in time, although it was a little closer than that at halftime.
Yeah, 22-0 in halftime. Indians really didn't do much in the third quarter, scored once, but you know, sometimes you get lulled to death with who you're playing, and I don't know. You can't allow that to happen, but I think it does happen. And I think the Indians kind of fell asleep at the wheel for a while. Didn't execute the way they should. Now they're back on track. Took advantage of a turnover by Greenville, and now going to go back on defense again.
Austin Burns going to kick it away for the Indians. Squib kick. Let's see who picks it up. It's nobody right now. Somebody finally gets it, but boy, the Indians cover the kick. That was John Butch who picked up the kickoff, but he didn't have any luck whatsoever. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. They're going to have it from their own 25-yard line. Bob, we thought coming in that Greenville might be a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, only because they have been in the past, and they've won 3 ball games this year. And you know, when you win 3, you still have to do some things right to win those 3 games. And they put some points on the board, done some things that make you think, well, you know, this is a football team that can generate something. But Piqua's just stepped up and made some things happen.
Pass from Bikey out to the right side to number 8, Grady Mitchum, completed, but let's give him 5 yards. That's being pretty generous. Let's call it 2nd down and 5. Probably could be 2nd down and 6. Quickly, the Wave up to the line of scrimmage after the completed pass. Bikey. This time's going to hold on to it, going to go around the right side. Oh, he's got some running room. He's going to have enough for a 1st down. Going to be up to about the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wave. Vikings run the ball a little bit more the second half than he did the first half, Bob.
Yeah, I think they felt that you know, their option game wasn't getting them too far, and they want. Vikey's a good athlete, good football player. He's able to
generate a little
do
offense.
some things. Yeah, do some things right.
1st and 10 for the Wave. Bikey again, back to pass. Over here on the right side, he's got Marcus Wood. Marcus Wood picks it up and gets into Piqua territory. Looks like it might be another 1st down for the visitors from Greenville High School.
Yeah, Greenville poses a threat. I still feel that way with the couple people they have. Marcus Wood, I'd take him in a minute.
Yes, I agree.
I'd take him in a minute because he can make plays on both sides of the ball. You have to like him.
Yes. Very much so.
$267.
Mikey, wait for the snap. Back to pass. No, he's going to scramble off to the right side. Found somebody in the right flat,
Mikey's pass is
and that's going to be
Marcus Wood.
completed. Let's see who that receiver is. Oh, there's Marcus Wood. So Marcus got the last pass on the left side. This pass on the right side. Keeping Marcus pretty busy.
Yeah, Mikey threw that under pressure. He was catching a lot of pressure from the end-to-end defense, and not a big gain, couple yards.
Second down. Let's call it second down and 8. Mikey hands it off this time. I believe Eldridge got the handoff. Got a yard or two. That's just about it. Pile of blue and white jerseys. I believe Eldridge is on the bottom. No, I'm not so sure. I believe it was number 7. We haven't seen much of Damari Ewing on offense, but that was Damari's effort up the middle. Whoop, we got
Flag on the play.
a penalty. Somebody moved. Came from the
Full start. Number 60 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
somebody moved on the line for the Green Wave. That's going to cost them 5 yards.
Number 60 is the center.
Or 7-5.
Center shouldn't be going early.
No.
These are guys got to snap the football.
That's the last guy that should have that
Yeah.
happen to him. Here come the Wave. Third down and 12. A pass out here to Marcus Wood again. Marcus picks one up on this side this time. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, plus maybe a yard. That's just about it. That fourth down and
Pass
9.
to Marcus Wood.
And I would imagine with the score being 36-7, the Wave going to try to keep possession of the football.
I'll tell you, Marcus Wood made McKeegan Kuhn wave on that one. Boy, he went right around him. McKeegan tried to tackle him and couldn't get a hold of him.
Here's Mikey getting all kinds of pressure. He's going to be knocked down inside the 40 by a host of blue jerseys. Who got that?
Corin Coleman, number 25, got, I think, first man to arrive at the scene. He was coming right off the edge.
Mikey never had a chance, Bob.
No.
Never
Corin
had a
Coleman
chance.
was blitzing, coming off the edge, and as a result, the Indians are going to take over deep in Greenville territory.
First and 10 for the Indians. They've got the ball on the Greenville 43-yard line. They have a 36-7 lead. Karn in the shotgun. Going to keep the ball going around the right side. Ooh, runs over a couple defenders and gets, he gets enough for a first down, I believe. I saw the officials say, let's move the stakes, and that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
So Micah Karn gets 10.5 yards, enough for a first down for the Indians.
I'll tell you what, I just wonder if you shouldn't slow Micah Karn down now.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk injury. You got a big lead, 36-7. You don't want to get him hurt going into the biggest games of the year coming up for Piqua.
Good point, Bob. Micah this time hands it off to Colin. Oh, Colin Ray's going to have a chance to get a big gainer. Going to get down inside the 5-yard line.
Colin Rowe will be tackled down near the 5-yard
I said
line.
Colin Ray. I meant Colin Rowe.
Yeah, little guy, a lot of heart, fast, 5'7", 149 pounds. He's a junior, and he can hit the hole quickly.
Yes, sir. Big gainer to the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Indians.
Runs the daylight. He got a nice block up front, a couple nice blocks, and just picked his way through and cut it back outside and caught from behind by number 82 of Greenville, or he'd have been in the end zone.
First and goal, ball resting on the 5-yard line. Karn going to keep it, going to go around the right side, going to go into the end zone for the score. So Micah Karn gets another touchdown, and that adds 6 to the Piqua lead. Now, Bob, we're getting into the route category.
Yeah. Where do we have the running clock?
Oh, 30, I think, Bob. I'm guessing that
That
we
should be
might
in
be
effect
right
now.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you're right. I think you're right. We might have the running clock the rest of the way in this one.
42-7, going for the extra point, and 7:39 left in the ball game.
Gonna see if they can't kick one over. Micah Karn, Toops to hold. And I imagine, now we're waiting for one of the officials to check the equipment of one of the Greenville players. Ready now for the snap. Bad snap. Karn picks it up, getting all kinds of pressure. Throws one into the end zone. Incomplete. Boy, there was a place, Bob, where we go right back to what you said. Micah was pretty much defenseless, being chased by one of the defenders. And, boy.
Is there a flag on the play? Yeah. Yeah, on a play like that, linemen have a tendency, because you don't know what's going on.
Sure.
You can't tell where your quarterback's going, and they drift past the line of scrimmage. Didn't matter anyway.
No.
So.
Penalty on the Indians. It's declined. It's 42-7, and Indians will kick with 7 minutes left to go. And I'm guessing, Bob, that we are using the running clock at this point. You can check it a little better than I have. You have a little better view of the clock than I do.
Yeah, it's not started
As soon as they kick it, we'll find out. Austin Burns is going to kick it off for the Indians.
It would stop after a score anyway.
Right.
So you can't tell yet.
No. Have to wait for the ball to be put in play. I like the rule, Bob. I like the rule.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus Wood, John Butch, deep for Greenville. Here's the kick. Another squibber. Who's going to pick it up? It's going to be John Butch. John Butch is looking for a little running room and didn't find. Well, he's still on his feet, but he's still on his feet. My goodness gracious. John didn't go down easy, but he went down at about the 20-yard line. John made about a 30-yard run, but most of it was sideways and backwards.
Yeah, couldn't turn it upfield.
So the Green Wave's going to have the ball 1st and 10. Now, Bob, as soon as they put it in play, we'll find out whether or not we're playing underneath the...
Well, it's running right now.
Okay, then we're playing underneath the running clock. And is pretty much a rule that I think most people think is appropriate.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens as the Wave comes out 1st and 10. Ball resting on their own 20. They trail 42-7. Handoff this time to Elridge. Oh, boy. He's had a couple good... the ball's on the ground, and we have a penalty flag. I don't know if that was a fumble, Bob, or the play had ended, but we got a flag, and I think we're going to have... That's going to be a... We'll see what the referee tells us.
After the play, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 29.
Another unnecessary roughness called against Piqua, Bob. That is a concern.
Half distance to the goal.
I would say so.
Well, wait a minute. Let's backtrack. He said he pointed in the direction of Piqua, but the penalty was against Greenville. Well, that moves the ball back to the 10-yard line.
I think these guys get a little confused sometimes.
I think so, and this is a ball game where you can lose your concentration pretty easily.
Eldridge, your ball carrier.
Eldridge, right up the middle. Had a long way to go. Got 3 or 4. Second down. Let's call it 2nd down and 20.
Brendan Toops had his hand in on that last tackle too. He's right there all the time, always around the football.
Pikey gets the snap, hands it off, I think, to Eldridge again. Boy, Eldridge is a glutton for punishment. He's trying the middle of that Piqua line and just not having much success.
Zane Arbogast in on the stop again at the bottom of the pile.
Let's call it third down and 15,
Landon
Bob.
Eldridge, your ball carrier. Zane Arbogast with a tackle.
Running clock's got us down to 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Here's the snap. Bikey. Back to pass. Little screen pass to number 7. That's number 7 is Damari Ewing. Damari Ewing got a couple, but when you had third down and 15, the screen pass wasn't the answer at that time. Fourth down and 11. Green Wave going to kick it away. That's going to be Ethan Flannery.
You know, this score could be worse than it is.
Yes.
It's been a huge beatdown by Piqua over Greenville, but it could have been worse.
And it certainly has not been a nail biter.
No, no.
Let's see what Flannery does. He's going to kick it from his own 7-yard line. High kick. Foster going to take it, drops it, picks it up, and is dropped by, I think that's number 23, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's give him credit.
Foster tackled by number 9. Alex
29 made the stop. That's Tony Sells. So the
also in on the tackle for the Green Wave.
oh, we had a flag, Bob.
Sells.
We don't need any more of those, but we do have a penalty on that play. And the officials right now, 4 of them are discussing it. Still waiting for the call.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team. That penalty's declined. Holding. Receiving team. That penalty will be assessed 10 yards from the end of the kick.
2 penalties on the play.
2 penalties on the play. I think we got them right that time, Bob. I think we had them both against Piqua. Well, let's see what happens as we wind this one down from Alexander Stadium. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to go. 42-7, Piqua. Piqua next week goes to Vandalia Butler. The following week, Tip City right here at Alexander Stadium. And the last week of the season, the Troy Trojans visit Alexander Stadium for what we think will be an exciting ball game. Handoff that time. Not sure who got it. Andrew Clemens is the quarterback right now. I'm not so sure who carried the ball. I think, Bob, if I'm not mistaken, it was Silas Bragg. So we got some of the younger kids getting a little playing time. That's good. Andrew Cremines, Bob. He's a sophomore. He's at the quarterback spot right now. Handoff to number 45, Derek Sheehan. And Derek finds some daylight. And did he have enough for a first down? Don't believe so.
A little short.
Third down, let's call it third down and 2.
Indians just trying to run out the clock now. About 3 minutes left in the ball game, and Piqua ahead 42-7. A lot of backup players getting a chance to get on the field now, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. Cremines. Over center. Handoff. Bob, I've got to see if we can find out who ran that one because there were a lot of white jerseys.
Number 34, and that would be Silas Bragg.
Okay, so we're down to fourth down and 2. It looks like punting unit coming on for the Indians.
Clock continues to tick. About 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Fourth down for the Indians. Micah Karn in to punt.
Micah Karn going to kick it away. Uh-oh, the ball's going to be on the ground. I don't know whether or not the Greenville player touched it or not. The Indians are covering it. Let's see who's going to get the ball.
No, he
Nope.
signaled Greenville's ball.
Greenville's ball, 1st and 10. So the Indians have a 42-7 lead. Now the defense gets some of their younger players a little playing time here
Next week, the Indians travel
in a 42-7 win over Greenville.
to take on the Butler Aviators. They're back in 2 weeks to take on the Tippecanoe Red Devils.
Let's
and
see,
wrap up the regular season against Troy.
Who's coming out for the Green Wave? Is it still going to be Bikey? I think it's going to be number 5, who is Noah Frazee. Frazee's the in the shotgun. Gets the ball, hands it off. We'll find out who that runner was as soon as he gets up. I think it was number 33, if I'm not mistaken, Bob. And that would have been Owen Jankowski.
Number 45,
Derek Sheehan made the stop for the Indians, number 45.
2nd down and 7. Again, handoff right up the middle. Picked up a couple yards. Going to be 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd down and 4.
Connor Mills, your ball carrier.
Clock ticking away as we wind this one
And
down.
on the stop for the Indians, number 88, Austin Burns.
Here come the Wave up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 4. Frazee is the quarterback. He keeps it. He pitches it out. And I believe pitched it out to number 23, which is Connor Mills. Connor Mills goes out of bounds, picked up a 1st down, but Bob, I'm not so sure how many more plays we're going to get in, but it's going to be very few.
Maybe one. 11 seconds remaining. I'm not sure if they'll get this one in. Clock continues to tick. 6, 5. I think that's it.
That's the end of the ball game. With the final score, Piqua 42, Greenville 7. We'll be back with our post-game guest right after this timeout.
Happy to have Coach Rick Krejci stop by again this evening, as he always does, talk about the football game. Coach, ugly game for Greenville. Piqua got after him from the get-go. Could have been worse, really, than it really was. We had a lot of issues, did a lot of good things. A lot of guys played well, but as I said, it could have been worse.
I could have, but we're happy with the victory. We're happy where we are right now in terms of where we stand in the league. We're happy with obviously our effort. Health-wise, I think we're doing okay. We're happy with the conditioning. At this time of the year, that is so important.
Well, we took advantage of a lot of things. Ran the ball well tonight. And I'm sure you felt like you could run the ball against Greenville coming in. It looked like that was a point of emphasis. Come out, establish the running game, and it's good for your whole team. The blocking concept, you blocked well up front. That's what obviously caused the opportunity to run the ball so well. Micah Karn, I don't have the full stats yet. At halftime, he had over 100 yards rushing. Micah's all over the field. But I have to ask you again, do you get a little nervous when Micah is in a situation where he's getting hit so much?
Well, you got to play poker every once in a while. You got to play with the cards you have, and that's our strength, and you got to play to your strength. Yeah, he's the quarterback. He plays both ways, but that's what you deal with.
Yeah, okay. I just maybe as a coach, that makes sense what you said. But, from as you watch him, you think, gee, many Christmas, the guy doesn't hold anything back. He puts his body in a position. He runs like a fullback. If I watched him and somebody didn't tell me he was a quarterback, just showed clips of him running the football, he runs through people.
Well, he's an aggressive kid. He plays defense. He's a quarterback. He kicks. He punts. He does a lot of things for us, and we're rolling the dice, and we'll take what we can get.
He must be a strong kid too.
He works hard. He's a very hard worker,
Yeah.
and our off-season conditioning program. He works hard, as everybody does, and hopefully this will carry us through in the next 3 games.
Defensively, you have to be pretty happy about what you did tonight, because I know Greenville, even though they're not a great team, offensively they put some points on the board this year against different opponents, and they got a tailback that had 900-plus yards coming in tonight's game. Pretty well shut him down. The option attack that they like to run just couldn't take off.
Our defense just keeps getting better and better each week, and we're real happy with where we're at right now. We just have to continue on this path, and the harder we work, the better we get, and that's what we'll keep doing.
Is this the most challenging part of the schedule coming up now?
Oh, of course. You get down to the end of the year, and it always is. I don't know what the Butler-Troy score was, but I've been watching them on film this week, and I respect them. And you take one game at a time, and Butler's our next opponent, and hopefully things will work out for us.
I haven't heard anything either, but I think this could be an indication of how strong they are based on how they play tonight, because obviously Troy's a good football team. Troy, you got Butler, you got Tip City, you got Troy, 3 teams that are capable of doing a lot of good things, and we'll have to play well the rest of the year to finish where we want to be. One thing I have to mention, I have to ask about penalties. It frustrates me watching it, the number of penalties we have, Coach. 15 yarders. They're not 5 yarders. They're 15 yarders. Aggressiveness versus sometimes doing things that don't make sense.
If that's the case, I can't really comment on that until you watch the film and see exactly what the penalties were. Yes, in the past we've had some things that we need to take care of. I would rather have us be on the aggressive side of that rather than the less aggressive side. So we'll look at the film and then we'll try to take care of it from there.
Yeah, over 100 yards in penalties is something you have to find a way to reduce, I think. Looking at the rushing stats, Micah Karn, 188 yards. That's like a halfback. He really had a career night. Averaged 11.8 per carry. 8 for 14, 72 yards throwing the football. Had some other running backs. Coleman, I'm liking that young guy. He can find daylight and got a jet in his back pocket.
Only a sophomore.
Yeah. Colin Rowe runs well. The junior. Jarrell Lewis.
Sophomore.
Yeah, he's a big fullback type. Runs hard. Can't bring him down. He's going to get 5 yards just by falling down forward. So the backfield's pretty solid coming back for next year. And
and that's a good thing. And hopefully we just keep rolling and getting better, and we keep giving those guys the ball.
Possession time, Piqua had the football 24 minutes, 32 seconds. Greenville 14 minutes, 46 seconds, dominated there. Fumbles, Greenville, that hurt themselves. 4 fumbles, they lost 3. Anyway, good win. A good win for the Piqua Indians. And, Coach, congratulations. Appreciate you stopping by. You're always a good person to talk to. And I know you want to watch your Cleveland Indians play. You got another Indian team you want to pull for, so
That's right.
Good luck with that.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to thank Coach Rick Krejci for stopping by tonight and spending time with us, talk a little bit about the football game, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, Coach. Thanks. Okay, statistically, we have some statistics for tonight's ball game. Of course, the final score, Piqua 42, Greenville 7. First down, the Indians had 21 first downs. Greenville had 7. Greenville rushed 29 times for 113 yards. Piqua rushed 42 times for 323 yards. And I'm going to look at the first half. I think we had 235 yards the first half. We slowed down a little bit running the football, but still did enough, obviously, to dominate the game. Passing yards, Greenville had 46 passing yards. Piqua 72 passing yards. Greenville 10 for 14 throwing the football for their 46 yards. Piqua 8 for 15 and 72 yards. Total offensive plays, Piqua had 57 offensive plays for 395 yards. Greenville had 43 offensive plays for 159 yards. Penalties, hate to say it, Piqua penalized 9 times for 101 yards. Greenville 6 times for 59 yards. Time of possession, talked a little bit with Coach Krejci about that. The Indians had the ball 24 minutes, 32 seconds. Greenville 14 minutes, 46 seconds. Individual stats, Micah Karn, 16 carries, 188 yards. He averaged 11.8 per carry. Corinne Coleman, 9 carries, 37 yards. Colin Rowe, 2 carries, 24 yards. Jarrell Lewis, 5 carries, 23 yards. Pass receiving, Colin Rowe, 3 receptions, 20 yards. Owen Toops, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Garrett Shrub, 1 reception, 13 yards. Matt Blankenship, 1 reception, 10 yards. Great victory for the Indians tonight, and did everything they needed to do. Things they need to work on, no question about that. Even though they won big, some things they need to clean up going into the latter part of their schedule. The last 3 games, all of them will be difficult, and the Indians will have to play well to win. So that's the story tonight from Alexander Stadium with the final score, Piqua 42, Greenville 7. We'd like to thank the Piqua City Schools, the Piqua Athletic Department, Piqua head coach Bill Neese, athletic director Chip Hare, TriCaster Thomas Beck, media instructor Damon Skeens, our director A.J. Ganger, and the students of Piqua High School that helped us film this game. Until next time, this is Bob Luby, along with Dwayne Bachman, saying good night, everybody.